What's up, guys? Boogie back again. So, guys, Lil Wayne is facing some trouble. There's some trouble in paradise for Lil Wayne. If missing the Super Bowl performance wasn't enough, apparently his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend right now, is trying to sue him. And many of you are gonna ask why. That's because apparently he broke up with her, and she's pissed off. She's mad, and she's trying to make some money. If you guys remember, um, Tiger Woods went through the same thing. So it looks like it's a new strategy these days. Some ladies are using, if they break up with a rich guy, they sue the guy and claim there was abuse. Because for the most part, the ladies are used to break up with men. But the rich guys usually can easily break up with a woman because they have so many women who want them because they got money. So these days, what some ladies are doing, the guy breaks up with them, they claim abuse, they go to civil court to get some money from the guy. So he broke up with her. She came to the internet like they all do. So she's trying to sue him because he broke up with her. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so for everyone DMing me about my story I posted, yeah, this is actually a fact. Wayne literally kicked me and my daughter out on Mother's Day today, and I am just recovering from surgery. I am 5 weeks out from a full mommy makeover. I can't even lift boxes, but this man has his assistants and people coming to help kick us out today. And broke up with me on Mother's Day through text. And her birthday's next weekend. And I leave to New York this week for all the Sports Illustrated press. When I tell you that I am absolutely unsure on how to even process my emotions, if y'all got lawyer recommendations, please send them because.
So now you want lawyers to sue him because he broke up with you on Mother's Day through text and told you to leave his house? But if the script was switched, if we changed genders, right? If this was a man that a woman broke up with, the ladies would say, just go heal, go see a therapist, move on. She doesn't want you anymore. They'll call this stalking. Though in this situation, if it was her who got the man out of her house, they would call the guy broke. They would say, "Why are you living in a woman's house? You're a man. You should have money." Things like that. But now he breaks up with her, and she's trying to say, if you guys know any lawyers, like as if this was a marriage, like as if it was a divorce, because now they know men are not getting married anymore. So that means there's no divorce, there's no, alimony, there's no spousal support after a breakup. Now what they do is, once a man breaks up with them, they sue him for abuse. They claim there was abuse in the relationship. So what's happening is, it's like a new plan. It's like a new strategy. So it's like men can't even have relationships anymore because just because you don't get married doesn't mean you won't be sued for money.
So, yeah, I know he has 2 girls being flown in today, and who knows how many plethora of girls he has.
You should have known this. You were with Lil Wayne. He's an international rap superstar. Did you really think you're gonna be the only girl? He has like a couple baby mamas. You should have known for this from the beginning. And if Lil Wayne was working in Walmart in a grocery store, and if he wasn't Lil Wayne, if he wasn't rich and famous, you wouldn't be with him anyway. So you talking about how he has multiple girls and he's flying in new girls. The whole world knows this. Like, you don't need to date him to know that he has multiple girls or that many women want him. The same reason you're with him for money and fame is the same reason other girls want him. So why are you acting all surprised like he was always going to be, faithful to you and things like this? This is just, it's astonishing how they pretend, like they act naive.
I've been nothing but supportive to this man, loved him till the end of the world, but okay. So city where I was living and brought me here for this. That's crazy, you guys. These men really be taking advantage. And it's
Oh, now he's taking advantage of you because he broke up with you. Oh, now he's taking advantage of you. What about all the money he has been spending on you? What about you living in his house for all these years and only have to pay rent? Were you taking advantage of him because he has money? Or is it only because he's breaking up with you that he's taking advantage of you? This is the same rule book. This is the same gameplay. Because I can guarantee she has been in relationships before Lil Wayne, and I can guarantee you she has had breakups with other guys, but she didn't sue them. She didn't claim those guys were taking advantage of her, because no one knew those guys. Sure, he has a baby, a child, a grown, daughter. I can guarantee you she cannot claim that the daughter's dad took advantage of her, because no one knew him. He didn't have money, he didn't have fame. So when the guy doesn't have money or fame, they don't claim he's taking advantage of them. But when they deal with a rich man who they can sue for money, now he took advantage of them. It's crazy how this always plays the same way.
Not just the emotional abuse, like this man has actually laid a like, nah. So okay, you know what's crazy is they always say like you're so stupid for love, and I thought it was like a mistake. But like I know other women he's put his hands on. And
okay, so why did you wait till he breaks up with you to come on the internet? Why didn't you go to the police right away? Oh, let me guess. Because he was spending money on you and taking you shopping and giving you money and taking care of your daughter, right? So now that he breaks up with you, now you know all the bad things he has been doing that you didn't talk about for some reason. Isn't it funny how this always happens the same way? And for some of you guys who say, "Oh, the celebrities should know better," but it's like, how can there's nothing Lil Wayne could have done, because literally any woman can come up and just claim these things because he has money. But if they date a guy like me, they can't come up with these claims because I don't have money I'm gonna give them. You feel me? They can't date a guy in Walmart and claim that they're gonna sue him for emotional abuse because the guy has no money. But if they deal with the rapper, then suddenly the guy is taking advantage of them. It's crazy.
today, it's okay. We're about to go back to the house that we live in together with my daughter, and we're gonna see how we are really down because this is absolutely crazy and a new low even for him.
Oh, so now he chased her out of his house. Now she's planning to go, and I'm sure she's gonna go with her phone, trying to instigate him, trying to make it seem like he's trying to abuse her, because that's all they do. They pull out the phones, instigate the situation, then claim the guy is trying to attack her, then call the police, then he gets arrested, then she files its lawsuit, then he has to settle with her on the side for some money, and then she leaves. Like, it's crazy how it's the same thing. And that's why I'm not surprised that most of these celebrities always have a lawyer ready for these things, because they're big, they got money, they're famous. So many people are going to come into their lives trying to use them. But it's funny how the people come into their lives claim they took advantage of them. Because if Lil Wayne wasn't Lil Wayne, this woman wouldn't give him a chance. She can't give me a chance because I'm not Lil Wayne. But now she's claiming she wants some money because he broke up with her. It's funny, man. It's the new playbook because men are tired of getting married. Because they know it's worse. You lose more when you get married after divorce. Because if this was a marriage and she was going to divorce him, he would lose half of his shit. But men are waking up, they're like, no more marriage. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, man. Shout out to Lil Wayne. I wish him all the best. But yeah, it's tough out here for rich men. I ain't rich, so I guess I shouldn't be really much worried about that, So next up, the ladies, like I said before, guys, ladies are coming up with new strategies. Here we have another lady with a new strategy and advice for the ladies. So let's get into it.
Quick. To my young ladies in your early 20s, late 30s, and you have went to college and you've like, I got to be married by 30. Stop. Get off that clock. Take you some time, travel the world, sleep with every man that make your pussy purr. I mean, sleep with them. Sleep with them quick. Get that on out. Get it at you.
Yo. Oh my God. Yo, it's crazy out here. So this is the advice they're giving themselves. This is the advice she's giving to young black women that sleep with every man that you can. Like, what do you gain by doing that? I can name you a few: STDs, unwanted pregnancy, so single mom, and then emotional trauma. And then you blame men. Because I can guarantee you guys, all the advice she's giving, if any woman actually does it, some already do it, but at the end of the day, they blame the man. They said the man took advantage of me. But they are out here, advising each other to sleep with as many men as they want. And then look at this. She says, get married when you want. So that means sleep with as many guys that you want, and then at some point in your life, there's going to be a guy ready to marry you. But if men are watching this, why are they going to marry you again? Like, there is no sane man who's going to watch this and be like, oh yeah, that's my future wife. Let her sleep around, and then when she's done, I'll be the one to walk her down the aisle. Like, you have to be sane. Like, you actually have to have been, your brain must have been taken out if you listen to this message as a man, and then you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get married.
And if your body don't respond negatively, keep him around. Keep him around so you keep your sleep number low. But if you have been sexually traumatized,
here we go,
and you have not gotten the proper help, don't get married in your early 20s, late 30s. Don't get married at that time, because you will be an earth disturber, and you and this man will not make it. So fuck everybody you can.
Damn.
Get married when you want to, respectfully. Real quick.
Man, it's tough out here, gentlemen. For the few ladies who watch me, I hope you guys don't agree with this message. Because for me, what puzzles me is, sure, some grown women are going to see this message. They may do so, they may not. Some already do it. They don't even need this message. Some already do this strategy of sleeping with as many men as they want. But I think the issue is, the young girls, we talk about teenage girls, have access to Instagram, and they can see this advice from older women giving them this type of bullshit. It's not even stay in school. It's not even, do your homework, go to college, pursue your dreams. Now they have switched it to sleep with as many men as you want. And she even mentioned it that there's going to be trauma involved. And what's crazy is some ladies actually agree with her. Of course, majority of men are not going to agree with her. And you can see in the comments, some people, one lady, this is a lady, she says, this is the stupidest, most demonic advice I ever heard. It's true, but the thing is, it's already in the music. The Sexy Reds, the Cardi B's, they already have the Megan Stallion, they have already this in the music. But now, no more everyday women are actually putting this message out here on social media. And then this guy says she wants you to end up like her. I agree. She probably has already been doing this. If she's not saying this just to go viral, because some people do that, though if she's not saying, I believe 80% is she's actually doing this. But like we say, misery loves company. So she's probably saying this because she wants other women to join her in her misery. Yeah, she's soulless. This is crazy. Okay, there's a woman here. She says no, ma'am. Okay, she doesn't agree. Yeah, all these comments. Yeah, I was right. Misery loves company. You can see somebody agrees with me. Like I told you, the STDs. But if it's one thing where, like, if somebody gets an STD, it keeps to them. But the thing is, she's saying sleep with as many men as you want to the ladies, because this message is for the ladies. Once she gets an STD, she's going to give it to everyone else. And then one of you is going to have to marry this lady 10 years down the road, and you think you found your soulmate. Stuff out here. What do you guys think? But this is the strategy that ladies are using. All right, next up, These two ladies, man, they got fired for being crazy, for not letting a customer board his plane. They made him miss his flight. They went viral and they got fired. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, they flight. You did. And you think, oh, you're going to check me in. I bet you we won't. Hey?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
Yeah,
didn't
I
pay
paid
$25
for a
for
ticket.
agent assist and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just
And you
said
thought
that
you
I
was gonna get on your flight.
Yeah, I
And
just
you thought
said
you
that
was gonna
I
get on your
would
flight.
pay the
And you thought you was gonna
$25.
get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And
I
you thought you was
literally
gonna get on
paid
your
for a
flight.
ticket.
Don't come
I'm
over
here
and try to
30
be
minutes.
disrespectful and
I'm
get
here
disrespectful
30
with
minutes
my
before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight. It's a policy. We don't.
The sisterhood. You see the sisterhood? Because it would have been very hard for this lady, the bigger one, to do this by herself. But there is the sisterhood. When there's another friend who instigates the situation because they're both pulling out, and they're at work, pulling out their phones trying to go viral. And this is why guys even don't approach the ladies anymore, because they know, men now know, as soon as you approach her, she's going to pull out her phone, put you on TikTok. Oh, look, guys, he's approaching me. He's trying to talk to me. He's asking me for my number. So men have seen this so many times. Men being, being embarrassed on social media, in the public, on TikTok. And men are like, I'm not approaching anymore. Because as soon as you approach a lady, she's going to pull out her phone, get you viral on TikTok, and then embarrass you. So all they do is pull out their phones. But the issue is they're on the work, they're on the job, they're on the clock, and they got fired after this.
Control that. And you will never fly.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space.
You're in
This
my
is
face.
not
I
your
work
personal
here.
space.
This is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
work here.
personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about it.
You have to worry about it. That's not the type of, customer care you gotta give, man. This is crazy. And this is celebrated. Now, obviously, if you look at the comments, so many people are happy they were fired, which I agree. I mean, this is not a good look for the company because this reflects on the company. For me, I would suggest if you don't like something, if you don't like, because I've worked in customer service, not every time I liked the way the client was conducting themselves. But for me, my best go-to thing would always be, give me a minute. I'll go to my supervisor. I don't like the way the client is talking to me. I don't like the way the customer is talking to me. Can you help deal with them? Because I'm losing my mind. That's what I used to do. But we live in the social media era. Everyone is pulling out their phone. And we know most jobs don't want you to use your phone during work times. Because this was so simple. This could have been as simple as, let me call my supervisor, my manager, because I can't let you get on the flight because you're late. But they get their phones out to go viral, and they're rude and loud, but they're wrong and they got fired.
Literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home. I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in.
Damn.
For no reason whatsoever. I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Man, shout out for TMZ for breaking this story, but this is crazy. Let's go through the comments. Okay, everyone doesn't seem to be nobody's agreeing with them. Someone is making fun at them, and you thought you wasn't gonna get fired. They got fired. Yeah, ghetto, ratchet. Shout out to Cardi B and Sexy Red. They promote this. Yeah, this is kind of right. Well, I think this is talking about the last guy, the white guy was talking about, who made some comments, but he didn't get out. It wasn't really kind of rude. He didn't pull his phone out. He wasn't really aggressive, so I guess even women are agreeing that they were so aggressive. But I think that's the case of company training. customer service training. Because if we're gonna be honest, most people don't like their jobs. Most people are just doing the job because they gotta pay bills. If we're gonna be honest, but again, at the same time, I rather you stay down, do what you gotta do until you get to do what you want to do. If we're gonna be honest, what do you guys think about that? Man, you gotta be nice to people because now they lost their jobs. And the thing is, they got themselves to go viral. So if any company sees this, first of all, they're never gonna be able to be hired by any other airlines company because every airlines company is gonna see this viral video. So they're gonna have to, I don't know, it's gonna be tough because so many people check people's social media when trying to get hired. So it's gonna be tough for them to get hired again. It's gonna have to be a completely different job field. you know so guys, apparently this is one of the reasons men are not going to the gym anymore. The women are making the gym seem to be like a sex zone, or I don't know, sex club, and they're doing whatever they want to do, and men are deciding to you know just not go to the gym anymore. Or if they do, because everyone has the phone in the gym and trying to record, and women have been known to try to expose men for approaching them in the gym, and or even looking. So they will set the phone, right? The ladies will set the phone, and then as you guys have been in the gym, people just look around, right? You're just glancing around, but it's like the ladies make it seem like the guy. Because seriously, if this woman is in the gym doing this, most guys are gonna look because this is your usual in the gym. But then they set up the phone, so as soon as they catch you looking, they're gonna get you go viral and say, "Oh, you a creep because you're looking." Because look at this. Like seriously, if any woman did this in the gym, most men are going to look. You know what I mean? So if most men are going to look and the women are setting up their phones, the guy is gonna go viral. They're gonna call him a creep. So most guys are giving up on gyms, man. Look at that. I mean, she's flexible, I can tell you that, but most men don't look at this and say she's flexible. That's it. Most men are gonna look at this and say she's flexible. I wanna clap some chicks. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, and then there's this other one. They're doing this too. Look at this. In the gym, this is Planet Fitness, and they set up cameras, right? So if there's a guy who's walking, you see this guy walking around, if he's walking and she's doing this and the camera, and he just looks and sees, they're gonna call him a creep. Seriously, they're gonna call him a creep. Look, doing this in the gym, man. Like, why? Just go to the club, man. Just go to the club. But men are wise now. Look, that guy didn't even turn around. I think he saw the camera a long time ago. You see how it's focused? Because most men are gonna look, but most men now know the ladies set up the cameras. So most men are just like tunnel vision. Because the moment he glances, she's gonna cut this up and say, "Guys, look at this creep who was looking at my ass," even if she's twerking in the gym. But some women are speaking up, so shout out to that. Let's see the women speaking up. Men are speaking up, women are speaking up.
We're really in a fucking day and age. We're telling bitches, can you please stop coming to the gym ass fucking naked? Starts a public fucking discourse. Are we at Myrtle Beach or LA fucking Fitness? Help me understand.
Y'all might jump me for this. I'm okay. But at some point, we're going to have a conversation about the fact that a lot of y'all are not just simply trying to wear what you want to wear. It's not about the freedom of dressing how you want to dress.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the fact that you like attention. You like eyes gawking at you. You like the eyes gawking at you that come from men and women. You like people paying you attention as you walk by in panties. Because a lot of these shorts that you're wearing are panties. There's no excuse. I don't need to see your coochie print. I don't need to see how deep your asshole goes, because that is basically how drastic some of these shorts are. And you all are way too comfortable wearing them in public. But God forbid someone say something to you about it. And then you want to send that person straight to hell in a handbasket.
I mean, I'm glad it's a woman talking about it, because usually when men speak about this issue, the ladies say, "Oh, you can't control yourself. Oh, why do you have to look? Oh, let me be me. My body, my choice. You a creep. Toxic masculinity. You hate women. Women can dress the way they want." But I'm glad it's a woman saying it. That way, the men don't have to get attacked this time. No, I know in the beginning of the clip it was a man, but at least the woman is coming out and speaking up on it. It's just really an attention-seeking thing at the end of the day. And they want attention in two ways. They want attention in the gym, people looking, then they set up the camera, so they're going to post the video on Instagram and TikTok, get the attention on social media. And then if a guy walks around and then looks and the camera catches him looking, they're going to get attention by playing victim and calling the guy a creep. So men are saying, no more gym for me. Fuck this, because I'm not trying to go viral for no reason and get attacked and lose my job and get canceled.
Where's the decorum? And I'm sorry, but somebody has to say it. You jump on everybody who tries to hold you accountable for how you present yourself to the world. You try to jump on anyone who comes on this app, who comes on Beyonce's internet and tells you that as a woman, you should be conducting and carrying yourself in a certain fashion. And if you choose not to, then be prepared to deal with the consequences that come with that, including the lack of respect. You want to beat up anybody that tries to hold you accountable, but you don't hold yourself accountable for walking around with your Gucci out.
Facts. Man, she's speeding, man. So like I said, men are probably stopping. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. The ladies are starting to speak up, so thank you to the ladies who are speaking up. But the thing is, I've even seen a video where a lady is actually trying to build an only woman's gym, where it's just for women. They can wear whatever they want. If they want to go naked, they can do that. So apparently that's what some women are trying to do, so that they don't have to go to a gym where the men are. But I doubt that gym will make money. Where only women only go there, I doubt that gym will make money, if we're going to be honest. And the reason is, since we know so many women want the attention from men, that's why they dress the way they dress. They twerk in the gym, they're twerking, they're doing whatever, splits and whatever in the gym. There is no way they're going to go to the gym for women only, because men are not there to look. So many are still going to come to the gyms where men are to get the attention. You feel me?
Why does anybody need to see your raw coochie print in the gym? Why
Facts.
does anybody need to go to the mall and they get to see where your ass crack starts? What's going on? And no, I'm not believing, oh, these are just so comfortable, I should be able to wear what I want to wear. You like the attention.
Yeah.
You like the validation. Even if you're not interested in where the attention is coming from, it makes you feel something.
Facts.
I'm sorry, nobody can tell me otherwise. So listen, I'm not going to argue with you, but I am going to state the facts.
Shout out to this lady. First of all, she looks good. But I think she's going to get attacked. Now, I could go through the comments if you guys want me to, but I think okay. People can wear what they want. However, there will be reactions and consequences to those choices. Part of accepting that choice means accepting those outcomes. But some really hate accountability. Okay, some people are agreeing with what she's saying. For me, it's how unsanitary it is. Like, you basically got your Bear coin purse fermenting on this ab machine, sweat, and then you have the nerve to just get up and walk. Yeah, okay, some ladies are fighting back. I wish some people could admit that they're just desperate for attention. Okay. This one says, when the end times, that could be. The gyms should start dress code for everyone. I don't know if that will work, because the gym is not a school. Okay, so majority of the girls agree, actually. So I'm glad to see some ladies actually. We have lots of ladies who agree with the men. Let's see. I just want to see, because I could guarantee there could be someone calling, hey, pick me, because that's what the ladies do to other women who speak up for men. It's going to be a lot of hard feelings on here. Facts. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, see it? Say people saying she's a pick me, while the person she's calling out are the actual pick me. Facts. Okay. Most people are agreeing with her. Okay. Shout out to this lady, man. She spoke up for the men, but men are giving up on going to the gym, man. All right. Next up, we have Whichever Podcast, as usual. I like when they get on the. All right. So backstory. These ladies, if you guys know anything about Whichever Podcast, Brian, host of the show, usually brings on Andrew. Andrew is married to Rachel. So Rachel usually comes on. Andrew usually argues with the ladies, but apparently Andrew was on. They were arguing with Andrew, and then they started insulting Rachel, his wife, who was not on the show. So as usual, because he's married and they live in the same house, Andrew called Rachel to get on the show and confront these ladies. It was beautiful. Always great to see a married woman, defending her husband. Let's go.
Hello.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Hey, Brian. Long time no see. Glad to be back on. Sorry, everybody. I had some health issues I had to conquer, but I'm doing much better. So
good to see you. Good to see you. Glad to hear you're feeling better. Take it away, Rachel. Go ahead.
Well, I heard I was summoned by Large Marge over here. She seems pretty upset about something. So, you guys want to let me know like what the problem is?
Go for them, Rachel. Go for them.
Anybody? No.
Basically, she wants the minimum income of the significant other to be 5 million. 5 million in retirement, and then your hubby says a lot of things, and
well, he asked, see, this is the thing. He asked what she brought to the table, right?
Correct.
And she didn't really have anything, so he said, well, what makes you think you're going to bag a millionaire when millionaires can basically have their pick of anyone?
Facts.
And she got really upset and threw some insults at him first. And the thing about Andrew is if you do that, well, he's going to give it right back to you. So the moral of the story is if you can't dish it out, if you can't take it, don't dish it out, I guess. But I mean, are we going to pretend it's not kind of delusional? She just spent the whole beginning of the show telling us that she has never gotten proposed to. She hasn't been able to get married. And
I never said that. You're lying.
Okay, so guys, this woman was attacking this woman's husband. Now, he's not on the show, but prior to this, she was attacking this woman's husband when the husband said this woman will never get a millionaire to marry her because she said she wants a millionaire. This woman's husband said, no millionaire is even going to get you because the millionaire can get younger women like this one, like this one, like this one, like this one, and like this one. He's not going to go for you. And then she insulted her, even if she was not on the show. So she's on the show to defend the husband and to defend herself. Lego.
You said
you're slaying. You're lying.
No, I was.
You're ugly and you're lying. It's easy when you're poor.
Oh my god. Did she just call her ugly? Oh my god. If you're laughing, you're going to hell.
Okay, well, did you not say that
you have no couth? And what you say means nothing.
Okay.
You started off nasty and vulgar. No, I have not been married.
Okay.
Have I been proposed to? Yes, but it's really none of your business.
Didn't you tell? Well,
I didn't tell anybody anything.
Listen, Marge, you came on the podcast.
You're rude. I'm no longer speaking to you. You're ugly.
Now she's throwing tantrums. But when Rachel's husband was on the show, she was going back and forth, all speaking. Now when the wife comes in to defend her husband, now she doesn't want to talk. Oh my God, this is so funny.
Rest of the panel. She came on here to talk about her dating life, and she spent her whole intro explaining how she's only ever been able to get guys who wanted her to pay the bills, and they were just losers, and they were pieces of shit. They had nothing going for them. They didn't bring anything to the table. They were lazy.
In my early 20s.
Yeah, these are the kind of men that you've been getting.
In my early 20s.
Okay, well, where's the millionaire asking to marry you? That's what we're asking.
Good question.
That's not an insult. It's not. Most of us don't marry millionaires. So it's delusional for you to think like, oh yeah, I totally deserve that. Like, why?
I went out with them for 4 months.
Well, first of all, I thought you weren't going to talk to me anymore, so that was a lie. But I'm glad that you're willing to chat, because
it's not worth it. You're a loser. You have no coup.
A little bit of a reality check here. It's a reality check time. And I got some for a few of the other ones too, if they want reality.
You notice the other ones are quiet because Mama Bear is in the house. If you guys have watched Rachel before, going back and forth with the ladies, she's smart. So she knows, because she's a woman. So she knows how all the women try to play victim and try to act nasty. You know, when it's a man, they just say, oh, you hate women, or, you know, you're not nice. But it's a woman versus woman. Suddenly they all go quiet, silent. Because she knows all their tricks. Because she's a woman herself. But the issue is, she's married. They're not. They're all single. Especially the one in the middle. I think she's like 62. Yeah, 62. Oh my God, she looks 70. But, guys, don't laugh. I'm serious. She doesn't look 62 to me. But anyway, when she came out to defend herself and defend the husband, all these other women, some of them were also attacking the husband. But they're all quiet now. Because Rachel is not. She goes in.
Reality checks. But it's just very entitled to sit there as you are and say, I deserve this. And when Andrew very correctly asked,
I said I wanted somebody established. You obviously have no standards because you married that loser. You're probably begging to get out.
Ooh! Rachel, I like you, but hey, she's cooking you now. I mean, it's not true, but I'm saying she's throwing shots. She's doing her best. Let me see if Rachel has a good comeback. Grandma is going in. She ain't playing. I thought she was going to talk, but she has a comeback. Okay.
You think so?
Yeah, I do, because you're on this show. How pathetic. That's the best you can do with your life?
You're also on the show, ma'am.
Exactly.
I'm very happy. I've been with Andrew a long time. We are notorious.
Then why are you foaming at the mouth?
Because she's talking about her husband. That's why she's foaming at the mouth. She's excited to talk about her husband. Most husbands, boyfriends, will never get a woman excited to even talk about them in public. The way she's talking about her husband. You got no husband, so you wouldn't know what it is like to be foaming at the mouth talking about your husband. I mean, that would be a good comeback if I was Rachel.
I'm not foaming at the mouth. Man, you are as red as your skirt.
Ooh.
I'm not the kind of person that you can sit here and, do this gaslighting and tell me I'm the one who's angry. You're the one who asked for me. You wanted me to come.
I don't remember ever asking for you. I couldn't believe that he was even married. But now when I see what you look like, I understand. It's pathetic.
Rachel, come on, man. She's cooking you. Don't let her get away with this. All you can just say is, why would a man choose you instead of choosing these other ladies? That's all. Plus, you are married. Don't let her go in like this.
Marge, nobody believes that you're going to sit here and tell me that I'm ugly, okay? Again, with the gaslighting, nobody believes this. You're projecting, okay? You're upset, so you're saying I'm upset. You're not blessed, with the most good looks, so you're projecting that. You're upset.
Rachel is trying to be nice. Just say it the way she's saying it. But I like the comeback. I like that.
You're saying I'm upset. Listen, let's deal in reality here and just say, Andrew asked a fair question, which is, when you say, I want someone established, I want him to travel the world with me, I want him to bring something to the table.
What the hell? I've already traveled the world. I've already done all the above.
If I may.
Well, why can't I have what I have? What's the problem with that?
Because that's not how it works. Like, just because you want a millionaire, just because you want him to travel the world, just because you want all these things, it doesn't mean you're going to get it. I want Beyonce. I want Rihanna. Maybe I want Kelly Rowland too. Does it mean I'm going to get it? Hell no. That's not how life works. And at your age, you should know. You have been around the block a long time to know that just because you want a rich man doesn't mean he's just going to fall from the sky.
I'll explain it to you, and this might help you. You said he needs to bring something to the table.
Yes.
And Andrew said, what do you bring to the table? And you said, I am the table.
I am the table? I don't remember saying I am the table. I said I'm established. I said I'm established. Most people in their 60s are established.
We don't need to yell.
I have many friends that are established.
Why would a millionaire give a shit about that? We're asking.
Exactly.
Because most of my friends are millionaires.
Okay, but you're not married. They are not marrying you. Okay? Just the man that you want, the millionaire man that you want, doesn't care if you're a millionaire. At 62, going to 70, you should know that. Like, that doesn't take rocket science. Because life experiences should have taught you that what you look for in a man is not exactly what he looks for in you. You want him to be established. You want him to be rich. It doesn't mean he wants that in you. Because either way, just because you got all the money established doesn't mean you're planning to spend the money on him. So you keep mentioning you established. Unless tell us you can cook. Tell us you can be nice. But clearly you're not nice. You're not being nice to a woman. God knows you would never be nice to a man.
Millionaires are not billionaires. I didn't say billionaires. I said millionaires.
She does it.
There's a lot of people that I know that are millionaires.
How come no one has married you from all the lots of people, millionaires that you know? How come none has promised to marry you or has asked you to marry them?
So those standards aren't that off the charts.
Yes, they are.
You understand that you knowing millionaires has nothing to do with any of them wanting to marry you. So what we're asking, once again, why would a millionaire want to marry you?
That was never really the question.
Because of my winning personality. They enjoy my company.
Oh, yeah?
We happen to have things in common. They like to share time with me.
How has that worked out for you so far? How's that worked out so far?
Good question.
I'm still single.
Yeah.
Ta-da! There you go. There you go. That should tell you something. That should tell you something, mama. If you have all these millionaires, but you're still single, if you have all these millionaires that you know, but none wants you, that should tell you something. That should tell you that, you know what? Maybe they want a woman who looks like the woman next to me. Maybe the other ladies on the panel. Maybe that's what millionaires want. Just saying.
And what's your point?
She doesn't get it.
My point is your standards are delusional. You aren't understanding, like...
My standards are not delusional. I'm having a good time.
Oh my
well,
God.
that's not what you said the whole first part of the podcast.
I said in my early 20s.
Okay, when have you...
Because I owned property in my early 20s, and it was difficult because no one at that time, guys, did not work. They were...
Okay, in your 20s, it was tough for you to get a millionaire. Now you are 62, looking 70. How come you still can't get millionaires? Anybody?
Living at home with their mom and dad.
Personality is really... I feel the millionaires being attracted right now as we speak.
Well, just because you can't get a millionaire and you're pathetic because you're with that loser. Sorry, your standards are so low, but the loser made you. Like, that's a victory.
Now, tell me why you think Andrew's a loser.
Good question.
But listen to him speak.
I
And
think he's hilarious.
And he married you.
He's one of the top entertainers on the internet. So
Sure.
he's
Facts.
very fun to be around. He's very entertaining. Yeah, he is. Okay,
you know one thing this is showing me? Single women hate women who are happy, who are very, very happy in their relationships. Single women hate happily married women because they want the married women to be like them. They hate men, so they want these married women to hate men as well. Single women hate married women who speak highly, who speak positively about their husbands. Single women hate women who speak highly about their boyfriends. They hate that so much. Especially if they hate men and they are trying to find this millionaire that they can't get. This is what this tells me.
girl with your ass hanging out, sitting there shaking your head. Don't start, because you don't want any of this, I promise you. If I have to sit here and listen to your baby routine for like any amount of time at all, I'm gonna go nuclear, because I've been having to listen to it all night and it's so irritating. You don't talk like that. Everything about you is fake and phony. The tears are phony, the tits are phony. Put your ass away and stop with the smirk, okay? We already caught you lying. You're full of shit. You're just here to sell your ass. So you can put the smirk away. Now, Marge, back to this.
Get up.
She cooked. She came from this one. I think she was talking about this one. And then this one. She came and cooked this too, right? And then she came back to this one. Oh, I like me a strong married woman. Oh my
For
God.
yourself. Like, this is a put down session. Stand up, turn around. Let's see your fat ass and the dimples in it and all your cellulite. Let's see your.
Look who's talking. This is a funny thing. Look who's talking about fathers and wrinkles, and look who's talking. I don't know why she doesn't get it. Oh my God.
Look at this. She can't even wear decent clothes. She's so pathetic. Get in a bra with a facelift. Use some Botox. And get a better attitude. Ugly troll.
Okay, that hurts my ears. Let's not do that.
Yeah. Look, I've been on the show myself, and when I was asked to rate myself, I said I thought I was a 5. I think I'm average looking. I'm at a healthy.
I said I was a 5, you loser. I said I was a 5.
Okay.
Why is she yelling? Yo, whose grandma is this? Now, you know, she's almost 70. At least looking 70. Can you imagine what she was like when she was younger? Like the attitude? If this is the attitude she has at this age, can you imagine what her ex-boyfriends used to deal with? Maybe ex-husband at some point. Can you imagine what they had to go through? And probably worse if she had some money. Or if she had some money back then.
Let's lower the volume a little.
Yeah.
You can say the same exact thing, just lower the volume.
So if I'm a 5, do you think you're a 5?
No, I'm a 10 compared to you.
Ooh, which 10?
Okay, there's more of that delusion.
Which 10? Like the 10, 10 is 1 and 0. So maybe she's saying the 10 where you read from 0 to 1. When you flip it, maybe that's the 10 she's talking about.
We're talking about. So I'm at a healthy weight. I'm not overweight. Yes, I'm in my sweats, but it's what?
You're scuzzy. You foam at the mouth. You're ugly. You married a loser. Get over. Yes, you're just talking.
Not fair.
Yeah, you're nasty. You have no couth. You're just a loser. Just get off the screen. You don't add anything to this conversation. All you do is put down, put down, put down, put down. You're an asshole.
Rachel was way nicer than her. In fact, I was getting irritated because Rachel was not firing back. Grandma was firing shots. She was going off. Rachel wasn't even saying anything, but she started. She was trying to be as nice as she could possibly be, because obviously she has kids and she's married. But like, I was getting mad, and she's talking about she's being nasty. She did you a favor. She was being nice.
Friends.
Oh, come on now. I'm not an asshole. I'm asking fair questions.
You are so mean to me. Why?
She's jealous.
Wait, hold on.
Jealous.
Wait, something. Oh my God, something is happening.
Look, you asked for me. I was upstairs doing dishes.
Oh, go. If I asked for you, go away, because you're ugly and I can't see looking at you. Go away, go away, go.
Guys, let's stop the insults.
God.
Both of you, just stop the insults. Why don't you, here, this is what I want. Say something nice about each other. One thing that's nice about each other, just
nothing.
I'm so glad you were so desperate you married your loser of a husband. There's no victory in being married to him.
Come on, Holly, come on.
Says a single woman in her 70s. I honestly don't believe she's 62.
Let's see
your ring size. Let's see.
Why are you asking about ring sizes and you've never been married? Why does that matter to you? Okay, she's going to show you her ring size. Are you going to show the size of your dildo? The size of your vibrator? I mean, if we're going to go there, we might as well. Now, guys, don't get it. I'm just trying to speak up for Rachel because she's trying to be so nice. And I don't like that she's being nice and the other woman is being nasty to her.
How big of a diamond? Oh, is that pathetic? He didn't even give you a ring. How pathetic is that?
No, that's my ring. This is.
Oh, that's a little gold band. You have a little gold band. How charming.
Here, do you want to hold up your nails and you guys can compare nails?
Brian, yeah, first of all, you don't have a ring at all. But second of all, I love this ring because Andrew gave me this ring when neither of us had anything. What did you buy me?
Still don't, because he's blown away that I do.
That's not true. So, Marge, if you knew how much Andrew made right now, you would cry. So you can buy me any ring that I wanted now. I don't want a new ring. I want this ring.
Oh, you're trying to save face. You're trying to save face.
Hey.
Hush your fat hog mouth.
Hey, guys, be nice.
There you go, Rachel. There you go. Finally. It took you 10 minutes to fire back something real concrete. Come on, man. Say it one more time. Hold on. We got to go back. Let's go.
Oh, you're trying to save face.
Let's go, Rachel.
Save face.
Hey.
Hush your fat hog mouth.
Hey, guys.
There you go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Guys.
Double.
Guys.
Charming story everyone wants to hear about the ring.
Nobody wants to hear your sad, pathetic story. How long did you have to?
Somebody send Brian money to mute her mic so I can tell my charming story. Anyway, Andrew bought me this ring when he only had a few $100, and
he still only has a few $100. Look at the poor loser. You can only wear sweat.
Crucible chat.
March. The reason why you're alone
He's a brokey.
You have no clue what's going on. You have no clue.
Because
Yo, guys, can you guys imagine what this woman is like when she's drunk? Because right now, I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm assuming she's sober. Can you imagine what she's like when she's drunk? After a few glasses of wine, 2 or 3. Because I think that's all it may take for her. Can you imagine what she's like? Oh my God, probably nasty work.
I wanted the man, not the ring, okay?
Well, you scored. You scored. Woo-hoo. You got married to a loser that can only give you a gold band.
Look,
loser.
I want you to say something nice to Rachel. Rachel, I want you to say something nice to Holly, okay?
No,
she
Brian,
doesn't
fuck
have to
that.
say anything nice to me. She's showing the whole world what kind of personality she has that's going to attract millionaires. This is the person. That's what every millionaire wants there, ladies and gentlemen.
What's so pathetic? There's many millionaires out there. Millionaires isn't even that much money.
Can we stop and move on, please?
Yeah, I want to
draining.
Not that much.
This is exhausting.
It should be easy. So I'm.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, this is exhausting.
I just have
You're just energized right now.
I'm kind of digging it, to be honest.
He's
but
energized.
I wish it was. I
don't fuck with bullying, and it's going back and forth, and now I'm fucking irritated. Can we just please move on?
Do you want
Who's
to get
bullying?
Bullying. It's not.
No, it's
she
not.
Asked me to come down.
Bullied me. I never said anything bad.
This one needs to shut up, But anyway, that's it. I will put the link down below because this went on for a while, But shout out to Rachel, shout out to Brian. Andrew is not in the cut, but shout out to all the married ladies out there. She stood up for her husband, and that's good, man. Shout out to her for that. Very few married men will ever get this kind of support from their women. All right, next up. Shout out to Anton Daniels, man. White women are fighting back. They are tired of black women attacking them for wanting black men. Let's go.
White women pushing back on the behalf of black men. That's what we're going to get into right now.
Ooh, the white knight.
Oh shit, oh shit.
this in a completely different direction. All right, y'all ready?
Lamar Johnson gonna have a field day with this.
Y'all want to know why we like y'all's black men?
Uh-oh.
Because they not y'all's black men. They're not. You don't own shit. And it kind of started, you know, way back in the day. Since we got to go way back there. You know how we were separated and there was some still sneaky stuff going on, right? But as you know, things evolved, you know, got better. We started to mingle together, and that made a lot of us white and black folk happy. It did. And then we got to mingle together even more. And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. I just fucking think they liked each other. And you're mad about it?
So, white women are starting to push back, and they're no longer going quietly while black women complain about black men talking to white women. What do you guys think about this?
Our time comes like for a lot of black dudes, bro. I'm so happy that they said it, because every time a white girl like a black person, it just can't be because they like them. They got to be fetishizing. Like black women don't fetishize black men for the same reasons the white people might like black men. So, and for a long time, if we got to be fair, if y'all judging white women every time they talk to us, that's equally as wrong as you being judged as the white man outside your race.
Actually, I'm glad the white ladies are fighting back, you know, because the black women usually make it seem like black men want the white women, but the white women don't want the black men. That's one thing they do. Secondly, when the likes of Serena Williams, Halle Berry, you know, other ladies, black women marry white men, they never talk about that. No. The only time they complain is when black men are with white women. And then the third thing is they never complain when it's just the average guy, right? They only complain when the rich black men get with white women. And then they forget the fact that 85% of black men are actually married to black women. So there's so much that goes on into all that I don't like that I don't like the disingenuity of black women. I don't like the double standards.
So I'm happy that they sticking up for themselves.
I want to see what black man she talking about, because not all black men are created equal. How she looked, she like she was talking about a certain kind of black man.
It don't matter.
I don't know if every black woman necessarily is gonna be mad if you take, but
and that they always mad when you with them.
Who's mad?
Yeah,
black women. We see the look.
I'm not mad, but
no, not you. You got you a white man. We see the looks at the when you in the mall and you walking with anybody else besides a black woman. We see how they looking. We see how the nose go up. And to be honest, like you would have never took that nigga serious who he with. You just see him treating her right and mad because you can't get the treatment. You don't want the dude, but you mad at the white woman, and you will criticize her. And for a long time, they ain't said nothing back.
Yep.
Black women are the biggest bullies on this fucking planet. And I guess these other women are getting tired of it.
He's right. Usually the white women never say nothing back, but they're saying, hey, listen, you want the man, we want the man, fight for it. Let the best person win. You know, because at the end of the day, what black men are saying, hey, listen, I want a woman who's peaceful, who's nice to me, who doesn't, you know, yell at me, curse me out, who doesn't, you know, do all the attitude BS. And if the white woman does it better and is brings more peace to the black man will go.
I think black women are just fine. And I think that we need to not speak with them or about them in the manner that we have. They just need a little bit more empathy and understanding.
Be more patient, right? Why they criticize everybody and bully everybody, we have to have the patience for them, right? And I love black women, but I can agree that they do nasty shit to other people. I just seen a black woman stop a white girl on the side of the street. It was a video going around and tried to check her about her hair because she had braids while having a hair full of weave in her head.
Oh, I seen what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And like, can't nobody else get away with that, bro.
I don't think that nobody can gatekeep anything at this point. You can't gatekeep people. You can't force people to want to talk to you. You can't do any of that stuff. And so at this point, it's really just a matter of whether or not people have the courage enough to actually proceed and follow through on the thing that they like. Because a lot of people will like do it in secret, or they'll reserve themselves because they don't want to disappoint the people that surround them. You'd be surprised how many of these guys are super pro-black that's talking to white women. Happens every single day.
Facts.
And
like I said, it's not that they are gatekeeping every black man. Like I said, right? They only get mad when it's the athletes, the rich men, the celebrities. When one of them, not even all of them, when just one of them walks out with a white woman, but then it turns out to be that black man, now that he has money and he has a white woman, it turns out that white women, rather black women, you actually used to reject him back in high school, back in college, before he went professional in the league. They used to reject him. So now that he has made it, he has the money, now they want to control which type of woman he can date.
I don't know, like I started talking to a white girl that I like messed with like back in 2010, and she gave me like black girl vibes. She started getting a little mouthy.
She started doing what?
She started getting a little mouthy, and I
I
started to throw the deuces. I'm like, I don't deal with the mouthy women.
I guess the thing that people, all right, let me just throw the elephant in the room. I believe that white women are more deceitful than regular women and black women.
They are.
They're passive aggressive as fuck.
Yeah. But
so
like, I'd rather you just be outwardly a bitch and loud and mean than be passive aggressive.
Oh, you don't.
I think that they're more deceitful. I think they're more cunning, more conniving. I think that they're more intentional. They'll take you to the cleaners more. They have their men inside a family court more. I think that I'm trying to figure out where this glazing is coming from. Now, I understand people have preferences, and I'm cool with preferences, but I'm trying to figure out where all of this fucking glazing is coming from.
Well, I also think that they have more patience as well.
Yeah, patience
and
to take you down.
They extend more grace as well.
No, they're just playing the long game. They're playing the long game.
Like I've said before,
It's not about being patient.
I've never had a white girl try to finesse me for anything. White girls have never left me, but I can't say that about black women.
But yes, they have. And for what you just said, Anton, all women do that.
Yes.
It's just the way black women and white women go about it.
Facts. Because, like I said, it all comes down to the fact that a man will choose a woman who gives him more peace. Because as men, we understand all women are going to have some kind of, drama, trying to start trouble, arguments, nagging here and there. You can't please them. Like, they want more and more and more and more. You do ABCD, they want EFG, and then you do that, and then they want more. So all men understand that. But what black men are asking for is, don't call me out, don't curse me out in public. At least speak kindly to me with a little bit of respect, especially in public, because you've seen some black men, black women in public, and they're arguing back and forth, and she, wagging her fingers in front of him. Some even slap the guy. He can't fight back because he's a man. So most men, they understand that sure, the white woman might be pretending and shit like that, but at least she's gonna be nicer to me.
Cypher says, Anton, you're only focusing on the negative. It's so funny because when we were talking about the fat black statue, Nobody said, Anton, you only focusing on the negative. Whenever I hold a black woman accountable, and I hold black women accountable every day, nobody ever says, Anton, you only focusing on the negative. They say, go in, go harder,
Yeah.
get on them.
Pause.
They hate black women.
I don't pause because I'm a grown man, so I don't believe in that shit. But niggas don't want no grace. Man, y'all so fake and hypocritical. I just keep it a being 100%.
I definitely understand where Anton is coming from. So when I do my pop the balloon reactions, sometimes I can say this is why women have stopped dating men. And some guys criticize me about that. It's like, no, you're wrong. The man should do ABCD. I'm like, no. If I'm going to say women are picky when it comes to picking men, clearly in this video, the man is being picky. The men are being picky. They're not choosing the good women. So I understand where it's coming from.
I'll be vulnerable. I want a black woman to love me, but they won't.
To be
Why do you mean that?
He really means that.
I'd rather take the passive aggressive.
Hey, ask him. We have these conversations.
I don't ask. I go by off what I see.
I mean, he takes
louder than words.
He takes what's easy but literally for almost 20 years, Quentin has been saying that he wants a black woman, a black wife. He says that's why he hasn't been married, because he hasn't found once in a black woman. No,
I know. I know who Quentin is. Kim, let me tell you something, Kim. You know a version of Quentin as a woman.
You're right.
I know who Quentin is as a dude. And let me tell you, I'm regularly on the phone talking Quentin off the ledge.
Talk me off the ledge.
All right, they're going to some other shit. But if I'm going to be honest, even the black men who date white women, if you gave them the white woman in a version of a black woman, they would go. They would go. If you said, hey, listen, you are with a white woman, she's nice to you, we finally got you a black woman who's going to be nice to you. I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe they would change. They would switch to a black woman. If she's going to be nice and not argue with them and not go back and forth with them, not be righteous and shit like that, I think they would choose a black woman. What do you guys think about that? I'll put the link down below. It's a long video. You guys go check it out. All right. Shout out to Anton Daniels, man. All right. Next up, we have Anton Daniels, man. On this video, again, the white women are speaking up. But also in this video, like I said, Paul Pierce, former NBA player, was saying why black athletes choose white women. Let's go into it.
Why do you feel like men, especially NBA players, get with the white women?
Maybe they appreciate more, apologize more.
Interview with
they don't mind being held accountable. And that's what I think.
Okay.
That's facts.
Clip, because they were just talking and laughing. But is it true? Are white women more submissive than black women?
Yep.
Because that's not the first time I've heard that. I'm going to say that.
No.
I've heard a lot of black men say that.
They're more passive.
Well, I think white women can play their hand
better. We gotta do one mic. Hold on, one mic.
White women know how to play their hand better. They know how to fake it till they make it. They'll see it through to the end. Black women, there's only so much that they're going to deal with before they're out of there. I think that's the only difference. Because
see, and that's the only thing they always say. When a white woman does something better than them, they claim that that white woman is faking it. Okay, why don't you fake it too? Why don't you fake it? So it's okay for you to just create all these broken families because you can't take it anymore?
Because you can be submissive all you want to, but the moment one thing out of line, or you saying something that we don't like, we're leaving. White women will see it all the way to the end. They'll be cheated on. They'll be, especially if they're like building the man up. I think that's the only difference. White women just play the game smarter.
Black women don't do that. Black women don't play games too, and
they
get the gold. What's it called? The men with the money. They go for resources. They have a food nigga. They don't do that. They don't play games.
They do.
But you see, you have to have. That's like having multiple. White women tend to have all of that in one because they see it through till the end. most Black women don't see it through to the end. Like they're able to put up with a little bit here, a little bit there. They may make it about halfway or a quarter of the way, and then they backtrack.
But that's an issue. That's what creates the broken families. It's exactly what you talked about. So you do that in your 20s, in your 30s, and your 40s, and then in your 50s, you still expect a man to come and get married to you? When all you have done is build up all this relational trauma, and you've never learned to be in a long-term relationship and see it through, because all you do is jump from man to man to man. How is that anything good any man wants to sign up for? Seriously, that's not something good to be proud of.
That's your feedback. Jazz is crazy.
White
I don't think
women.
it's limited to race. I don't think. I think it's more of an ideology. I think it's more if you're a feminist or not. If you push for feminism, I don't think this is limited to Black women, and I think it's more of an ideology, feminism.
Go ahead, Jazz.
I was going to say that because I was like, how can white women be submissive when they were the start of the feminist movement, which is everything but being submissive to a man. So,
well, they even if they started it, but still history has shown us they are still submissive or more submissive to their men, even if you claim they started feminism. I actually personally believe they started the feminist movement to, divide the Black woman from the Black man, because they are still with their men.
that's interesting. I don't know if they're more submissive, but I mean, Black women, unless we're, unless we accept and tolerate,
Oh, snap. What's up, Jazz? What's up, Jazz?
What's up, Anton?
Popped up.
Yeah, so I think what I was trying to say was that I think we are looked at as not being submissive when we don't tolerate certain things in our relationship, like what Jerry was saying, like white women, they may take a cheating man over and over and over again, and Black women have done that as well. Let's be real. Like, we tolerate and endure a lot from our men. We've invested in our men, et cetera, et cetera. But I think once we start to say no more, that's when we become, not submissive or not feminine, because we don't want to tolerate bullshit. That's just my point of view.
I personally hate how they equate a submissive woman to a woman who accepts cheating. That those two things don't get along. Like, a woman who tolerates cheating is a woman who doesn't know her worth. It has nothing to do with being submissive. Being submissive is a man saying, hey, baby, can you make me a sandwich? And you're like, make it yourself. But then you expect him to pay the bills. You expect him to buy the food, but you don't want to make a sandwich for him. That's the submission Black men are talking about. The submission Black men are talking about is, hey, I'll go make all the money, you take care of the kids. That's the submission we're talking about. We're not talking about submission of, I'm going to cheat, so you should accept me. So it's funny how they always relate submission to something very negative.
Okay, so I have a question. I have a statement. I went to a white college, and the most hate I got, and it's predominantly white. The most hate, the most attitude I seen was from Black women. I ain't gonna lie now. Sorry, coming here from the island, that's what I encountered. Right? They say, "Oh, you're not Black. You can't talk about this. Oh, you're mixed. You're not Black." So it's like, I kind of get why some men say, I like a certain type of woman. That they don't have to deal with attitudes at times. Granted, white people attitudes are a little different. They don't have to do with certain things that come from Black women. And we're talking about the twerking. I don't really see a lot of white women twerking. Look at that Lululemon thing. Like, that shit is ratchet and ghetto. So
they don't know how to twerk.
Oh man, I didn't have to twerk. I don't know.
See, that's their comeback. White women don't twerk. They don't act ratchet. They don't know how to twerk. Like, that's your comeback? Like, seriously? I get it. Maybe she's joking, but this is a serious issue. Because every time a Black man brings up something with regards to submission, they always make fun of the type of women he chooses. They always find something wrong with the type of woman he chooses, because they don't listen. They don't care.
Well, I think,
But
we got to think about it too this way, right? When we talk about white women and we talk about black women and we talk about the thing of submission, I also want to talk about optics with that, because I feel like white women are also very sought after, especially as it pertains to providing. Whereas on the flip side of that, black women, we're not really sought after to provide. And I think that also ties into the whole circle. Why are you making that face?
Wait, what white woman is providing? I'm confused.
So I feel like men are way more willing to provide, specifically black men take pride in providing for white women.
What? No, black men will provide for any woman who listens to them, who is nice to them. It could be a homeless woman, it could be a lawyer. If she listens to them, is not ratchet, she's not trying to talk back and forth, go start arguments, she motivates him, she says nice encouraging words, not being mean to him, you ain't shit, nigga this, nigga that, any man would provide. Come on now.
Why do you think that is?
I disagree with that.
Exactly.
Why do you think that is?
So
I know why.
Black women talk about wanting to be provided for, you know, they get called gold diggers, or they ain't got nothing, they don't got this. But like when it comes to white women, it's always just expected. And this is something that they grew up with.
No. When you ask for men to provide for you, you make it seem like an entitlement. You even say, I'm the table, I bring nothing to the table. You want a man to provide for you, but you can't even make him a sandwich. You want a man to provide for you, but he can't tell you how to dress when you're going out with your girlfriends. You want a man to provide for you, but you don't want to stay home and even, take care of the kids. You want a man to provide for you, but you want him to provide expensive lifestyles. That's the difference.
Y'all looking real crazy.
I really do, because I don't understand what you're saying.
But I think that pertains to this topic as well. Because when we talk about submission, I feel like, the white woman is willing to be a little bit more submissive because she's able to be taken care of. Whereas black women, they've had to struggle for, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word that is called? Hypergamy. They've had to struggle for hypergamy. So I think that's a component to that as well that we can't skip out on.
They've had to struggle for hypergamy? What does that mean?
That typically black women struggle with hypergamy, which means that when we talk about provider households, it's a little bit harder for black women to come across a 100% provider man.
Well, first of all, there are very few 100% provider men. But even those type of men want to see that you are bringing value to their life. It doesn't have to be financial, because they already have the financial part taken care of. But all they ever ask for is, what value are you bringing to my life, whereby I have to pay all the bills and you don't have to touch your money? And most of you say, I'm the prize, I'm the queen, I deserve it. The entitlement just pushes them away.
But why? Why do you think that is? As a
black woman, if you want a black man, I feel like it's a little bit harder.
But why though? Like,
y'all do know that it's more than it's black women all over the world, right? Like what you talking about is the black American woman. Mm-hmm. A lot of these black women, they coming from Jamaica, they come from other places, wherever they come from. They don't go through what the black American women go through. The black American woman is out of control. Listen, the black American woman is out of control. Your men can't talk to you. They can't control you. They can't lead you because you want to lead. You feel like because you're a black woman, you got it down pat and you know it all. Black women always right. I'm strong because I'm a black woman. This is y'all thing. Nobody want to hear that shit. Men don't want to hear that shit. I've never met a man that said, I want a strong black woman.
Facts.
I've never met a man who said that. Men don't care about you being strong. They just want a woman. But y'all walk around with this chip on your shoulder just because you black. And it turns people off and it pushes your men away. That's why they don't stay.
She's cooking.
And half of the time they do go to white woman or Asian woman or any other woman because they're a little bit softer and they're not hearing that shit that y'all be saying. It's literally black American women that act like this.
I'll be honest.
I'm glad it's a woman saying this, because if I say exactly what she just said, which sometimes I do, They call you toxic. They say you hate black women. They say you're dusty, you're broke. If I say I cannot 100% provide for you, they say you can't. You can't handle me. You're not a provider. If I say I'm not going to pay for the 3 trips to Cancun every year, or you're not rich enough for me. It's like the back and forth, the attitude. It's like, can we just have a conversation? Like, can you speak to me nicely? It's like, you want me to be nice, bring you flowers and this, and you can't even check on me and say, hey, how was your day going? I'm just letting you know that I care about you. That some men don't even get that. She's cooking. So, but when the men go to other races, now they hate black women. Now they hate their mama. Now your mama is black.
Well, I was going to say, I kind of disagree with the idea of, white women being necessarily more submissive than black women. I think primarily when it all boils down, it boils down to like really 3 factors in my mind. Environment, accessibility, opportunity, and really like, family situation and networking. From someone who's really only participated in interracial dating. I mean, all the way from high school to college to even corporate America, a lot of the environments that I was in were primarily white dominant. So a lot of the spaces.
You've only dated white women?
Yes.
Okay.
Only dated white women.
So do you have male friends that dated black women?
I do have a male friend that's dated one black woman.
So the women that you dated, granted you only dated white women, have you seen the difference between black women and white women? And how did they treat men, or how did they act?
I will say this. I think white women are a little bit more sneaky in a way that, they move and they operate, meaning that like most times, like you won't find out about the dirt of a relationship till almost 2-3 years afterwards, when like the relationship's already over. But for the most part, I just really think women are just women. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it really boils down to shared values. Oftentimes you tend to see women who are a little bit more independent. They tend to operate in what I like to call a survival mindset, where it's just more about, I'm just trying to make it to the next day, the next month, the next year. And I'm just taking things as they come. In my previous relationships, when I actually look back on it, like one of the things I really liked about those relationships was the fact that, coming from a broken home, when I was dating this woman, it was a whole nother side. Like everyone was so well connected and gelled together, and they just had lots of resources. And then as for me being a part of that family unit for the time I was dating said woman, I actually got access to all those resources, and I still have them till this day.
That proof I made earlier. Go ahead.
What you say?
Yeah. So when it comes to like contacts, job opportunities, when it comes to, getting invited to like to a golf outing, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I've never really experienced before. So I just think that it doesn't boil down to race. It really boils down to, I think, shared values, which ultimately come from the family unit.
Yeah, facts. Because most of us in the black community, we are not taught the values of relationships, sexual relationships between man and woman. I mean, you grow up in a household, you are seeing your mom and dad fighting and then eventually breaking up. So you're growing up with your mom or with your dad, you see them not getting along. So you are learning, because as kids grow up, they are learning, they are watching, but they're, soaking up all the trauma. So when you grow up, so no one is telling you about healthy relationships. No one teaches teaches black people about healthy relationships, not anymore. And then when you grow up and then you meet a black woman, both of you came from broken households, you know nothing about a relationship. Guess what? He brings his trauma, she brings her trauma, you get together. Now it's 2 trauma times 2. Maybe you become single parents. Now it grows. The generational trauma grows and grows and grows. But when one of you, usually, let's say black man, gets to date a white woman who was taught family values and healthy relationships, guess what? That's why maybe we call them sneaky, because it's something we have never experienced before. The whole time you've been dating black women, they've been mean to you, nasty to you. You think that's what love is. That's what a healthy relationship looks like. So when you meet a white woman who actually treats you with respect, nice to you, it comes off as sneaky because you've never experienced it, because all you know is bad trauma and bad relationships between you and the black woman.
But wait, but that's the good thing though, that a woman can be an asset to you and help you in many ways. I don't see that as a negative thing. Janae, you're muted, by the way, but you have big feedback. But I don't think that's. I've never really hear a lot of men saying, black men be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going after this white woman because there's resources."
Exactly.
I've never heard that. Maybe I'm
Well,
wrong.
I think something else that we're not talking about either is I really do think that when it comes to like, you know, interracial dating, I do think that white women um, do stick it out. Like I think what they do is when they go to college, they're finding a husband, they're finding a long-term relationship, and they're really smart at identifying, you know, who's gonna make it and who's not. And I tend to see that they're not primarily focused on looks more than they're focused on like, hey, you have a great personality? Are you a good person? And then are you going to be able to sustain a family? So they're very strategic. Like I remember when I was dating in my last relationship, I mean, even a month, 2 months into dating, one of the first things that happened was I was invited to the family dinner and I was like vetted by her sisters, her mom, and her dad.
Yeah, it's that family structure. You know, dad and mom are teaching their daughters how to pick a good guy, pick a good boyfriend, you know, for the sons, pick a good girlfriend. They bring you in, you know, but in the black community, I may date a woman for 3-4 years. The girl may date a man for 3-4 years, and they have never met each other's parents because the parents are not together either. They broke up many years ago. Maybe they have different families, whatever it is. It's that family unit, that family togetherness that creates future family, you know, close relationships and good relationships.
Valid points you just made in terms of like you saying like you like the access, not just like the resources and access, but also just talking about like, sorry, I got people in the background. Just talking about like being able to be in those spaces, in those rooms, right? I think like Jess was saying, kind of like to the points that we made earlier, it's not just about, when you said it's not about race, even if it is or isn't about race, it's about access and resources, things that, you know, you can't have. There are people who look to people like you, like Q, you said, I never met nobody that said, I want to date a white woman because, oh, resources. I've met a lot of black men who say that it's black men all the time, like, oh, her credit score is da 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 da. Like, that's always the comment, it's always a funny joke, but there's always some truth behind every joke. But also, you also have to look at the fact that, like you just said, when you're talking about dating these women, like when they go to college, white women go to college and they're vetting these men and saying, I'm looking for a man that can sustain a family, things like that. Those things absolutely matter. Black women, we date based on love, feelings, emotions. So a lot of times we fluctuate in how we manage those relationships. So when it comes to the tolerance of things, my emotions are more important now. They get bigger. So it's like I can tolerate with so much as opposed to what appears to be white women would say, I'm looking for a goal, the future, the ending of it all. But I can stick it. Those feelings, other things matter more.
Your audio.
Are you cutting out? Okay.
I think black women date off of look.
Your audio went out, Jen.
Who looks the coolest? Who has the most swag? Who's the most papered up dope boy? We don't care about like we care too much about the appearance. Who gives us butterflies off the first look? All the dumbest reasons to pick a man.
Because that's what we want. Because no one taught us, both men and women, how to pick a good partner. We didn't see it in the households. Remember, we came from broken households. And then there's the music. Even the black movies portray the same thing, right? The good girl on the neighborhood getting the baller, the gangster. You know, we see that. So it's no question that once we become adults and go out in the world, we are going to struggle dating. Because dating is a skill. And it's not a skill you learn as an adult. When you become an adult, all you're doing is picking up trauma bonding. Dating is a skill that you have to watch in the household between mom and dad, and then you see how they relate as you're picking that up, because it's a social skill. And then when you go in the world, you can relate to other people. You can be able to, spot out people who are not good for you and people who are good. But if you don't know what a good man, a good woman looks like, you're just going to go bumping your head every time. And guess what? Broken households, single mother households, single father households, dealing with drug dealers, divorces, high divorce rate, things like that. You know what I mean?
That's what us as black women do. A lot
resources.
of the time.
Molly, you know how many black women date men who look like I love? Come on now.
Ooh, where they
Yeah,
at?
but
Because
he
I always
probably
hear a
stop
woman
it.
talk about looks.
Stop
He ain't
it.
tall
Yeah,
enough.
but even if,
He ain't cute
even if
enough.
he,
This, and that. It's always something. It's
Yeah,
never
women out
about
here with
like
men who look like left feet now. Don't do that.
and that, but
where.
even when they do date ugly
Because the
men,
white girls are
he's
picking them
always
ones. The white girls are picking the ones that we don't pick. They're picking what's his name? Travis
Facts.
Hunter. They're picking the ones that we look at and be like, he ain't cute
Yep.
enough. He
corny.
don't have enough swag.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Corny.
corny. Like, let's be honest. We don't want the man that's not a felon.
That's true.
He's not gangster enough. He's not cool enough. He doesn't sag his pants. He's well dressed, so he's a red flag. He has no kids out of wedlock, so he's a red flag. That's a new thing these days women are saying. If a man has a good job and well into his 40s and he has never had kids out of wedlock, he's a red flag. But if a guy has 10 baby mamas, for some reason, that's a good thing. That's the crazy mindset these days.
Like, let's come
I think also too, like you gotta. I think you
our
also gotta take
emotions. Our
into
emotions
account
are tied
too.
up in a man's looks. Like, it's the dumbest reason. And
Yeah.
we don't care if he can't read. We don't care if he's not a good
Right.
dad. Does he look good? And
That's
am I
right.
getting butterflies? Literally, that's our
Well, I know
standard.
plenty of black women who make sure that they not only are attracted to the men that they date, but also are with men who have something to lose, who have good careers, have a good head on their shoulders. Like the majority of the women that I know and that I'm around, they don't really, date dope boys. I mean, maybe if you frequent the hood a lot and you do hood shit, you would know a lot about that.
All right, this woman is now lying because we know this. It's a stereotype for a reason. The question I would ask those friends that now date good guys is, when did you start dating good guys? Did you start in your 30s, in your 40s? Because if you started dating good guys when in your 20s or in college time, you would be married by now, because one of those good guys would have married you. Or is it because you had a few babies with the bad boys and now you want the good? Now you have realized why you should be with a good boy. You feel me? Like, I would have questioned this. So she's now lying.
But I don't.
Cardi B is sitting there rapping about how she won the felon, and these girls is following her. It's not just to the hood. But I forgot, you are privileged, so go ahead. Speak from your privileged position, Jack.
Got fight.
Some of us are from the hood, though. I don't want to make this.
Speak from your black privilege, girl. I'm listening.
Do y'all hear something? Is that me? Come on. Something is just like a little buzzing.
That's your microphone, but keep going.
I don't know. Is it me? Is it my phone? Y'all hear that too?
That cat fight is crazy.
Like I was saying, while that may be certain women, a certain subset of women who entertain a certain subset of black men, is definitely not the majority. And
so if that's not the case, how come majority are single mothers? And how come they have babies but by men who are not stable? Because majority of single mothers don't have babies by men who are in stable jobs and never had never committed any crimes and things like that. No, they have kids with men who have nothing going on, because they complain on the internet all day. My baby daddy ain't shit. My baby daddy ain't this and that. They tell us. We don't even have to look at the statistics. They tell us that my baby daddy isn't this, is a deadbeat, is this. It's like, okay, why did you choose a bad boy? Now you want a good guy?
I think if what Paul Pierce is saying, if that's his experience, that's his experience. If he hasn't had a good black woman to appreciate him or submit to him in any type of way, that's unfortunate, because we all know everybody is not.
But before you go, I just want to give a little bit of context. So Paul Pierce, before that clip, said that he only date black women, and he said that he's previously divorced from a black woman, and he said that he only dates black women. The question that was asked to him is why most NBA athletes prefer to date white women, and so he gave an assumption based off of what he's seen, but he personally said that he's never dated a white woman. So just give me
okay. Well, thank you for that. I didn't know.
I didn't know they did. You know what's funny though? There's a lot of, I think that regarding social media, I'm gonna mute you, Jess, because your feedback is crazy. But a lot of NBA players are married to black women.
Facts.
So I think that someone did a poll or something, and it's like most of the black men are married to black women. So
yeah, that's the thing. And honestly, you guys ever notice the black women only complain about the rich black men who date white women? They never complain about the guy who works in Walmart when he's walking down. His white woman picks him up after his shift. You know, they never complain about the truck driver who's dating a white woman, the black man who's driving a truck. You know, they never complain about the guy doing construction dating a white woman. They only complain about when athletes do it, when celebrities do it. That's the only time black women seem to have an issue with that. Usually it has to be a rich man, and usually a famous man. Because there are so many rich black men who may date white women, but they never complain about them because they're not visible. And then the double standards are these same women never complain when black women choose to date other races or choose to date white men. They never complain. But anyway, man, shout out to Anton Daniels. Link down below. All right. Next up, we got this again, same topic: a white man, black man's piece. Let's get into it.
Hey sis, meet me on the porch. At this point, I need everybody to meet me on the porch. I need the black women, I need the white women, and I need the black men. This is some seriously real shit that I am utterly disturbed by, and I am just tired because I don't understand why there's this major attack on black women. So this video, if it goes into a part 2, not a problem. I'm about to ram it up. I was in the barbershop today. And it was a young black male coming there. He might have been between that 22 to 24 age group. Very handsome. Very, very handsome. So I believe he's might have just been coming back from college or graduating or whatever the case may be, because they were happy to see him when he came in. Okay. So he sits down, and so they're just talking, you know, what's going on, and he's giving an update. He's graduated, he's got an engineering degree. Oh my God, I'm over there on the proudness. I'm in the background, I don't know him, I'm just kind of sitting down listening to what he's saying.
Nosy.
So
okay.
The barber begins to get filled in on him. What's been going on, this and that, and he says, I'm coming back, I'm getting married. So everybody, like, great. And I'm so on the side being so nosy and over there like a proud auntie. I don't even know this young man, right? So they start to kind of converse amongst each other, and they're talking. And so the young man says, yeah, I'm having a little problem. It's a lot going on because I'm marrying a white woman. And my family, they're not too happy about it.
Okay.
So the barber and everybody was like, oh, well, to each his own and this, that, and the other. So the barber was just kind of speaking to him, and he said, hey, where'd you meet her? And he said, oh, I met her in college. And he was like, oh, okay, because, back in the day, you had all the girls. What made you decide that she was the one? Like, what made you want to marry the white girl or the white woman? No, with no disrespect. So what this young man said after that is what just literally took me out the game. Okay. As a black woman, as a black mom, in general. So he says that, he come from, of course, the hood and had a hard knock life, just with one mom and no dad, and that same shit. Like, don't nobody I hate the fact that is such a stereotype. We hate.
It's not a stereotype. Single mother rate was 30% in 1970. In 2022, it rose to 70%. It's not a stereotype. It's a real thing. Broken households in the community, the black community, is a real thing, and it affects kids. So you as a mom should know the importance of fathers. So it's not a stereotype. It's a real thing, and it's affecting the community in a real way. But go ahead, play victim.
He hated too. But so he goes off to say that when he went to college, it was a college that was mixed, but more so of a white college. And he start, meeting up with white friends. And, they introduced him to another whole world that he didn't know existed,
Okay.
And the young girl, she became a friend and then introduced him to their family. And when he goes over there, they're all married. The parents is married, and
Okay.
they have a really good home, and they do things together and they communicate. It's just a good energy, a good vibe. And this man said, I never knew this side of life. My life was always loud and chaotic and always disruptive with my family.
I mean, most of us experience that. It starts in the household. You see, mom, if you are lucky, and at one point your mom and dad were married or together in the same household when you are growing up, and they finally, broke up or divorced, there's a high chance that they were always arguing. And as a kid, you hear the things. You don't understand what's going on. You just know mom and dad are going back and forth, but you don't understand what's going on. But it's actually building trauma. So this guy, that's how he grew up. So many kids, black men, black women, grow up in those same households. So we build and grow with this trauma, which they call generational traumas, generational curses that we take to our kids and to those kids and grandkids and things like that, in a cycle. It has become a cycle. So why are you speaking like he was lying that this doesn't happen?
So the young man said, he would go over there and they would go on vacations. They would have Sunday dinners. When they had cookouts, there was no fussing, no fight, no arguing. It was just all love and vacations. I was thrown at what this young man was saying in regards to what he seen and what he witnessed being with this young lady.
What's wrong with that?
And this new side of life.
Okay.
And so he said that, when he seen it, he started thinking about all of the chaos that his life was. It was always baby mama drama and fussing and fighting, and they'll get together as a family and it'll be a fight, and the drunk uncles, the drunk mamas, he was like, my aunt and uncle, they all on welfare and always scheming and always fussing and fighting, cussing, trying to hook up with this dude and that dude. And it's just all these black women, just all that seemed like that's all I was raised up under. That's all I seen. That's all.
Did he lie? Guys, comment down below. Did that man lie? Doesn't that happen every single day? And now we have social media that people actually record their trauma, their chaos in their households and give it to the whole world to see. So what's wrong? Why is she acting like the man was lying when it literally goes on every single day? And this is why men choose other races, because when a man speaks his truth, like the ladies usually like to speak their truth, when a man says what he has been through, ladies like her don't want him to speak out, because the first step in changing your situation is accepting your situation. Is accepting, hey, you know what, this is a situation I'm going through. If I need a better situation, I need to recognize that the way I was raised, the trauma, the chaos, the broken household, the drama, isn't how a man or woman should be raised in. He recognized the drama in the environment where he was brought up. Now, you don't want him to speak about it, and that's why men never speak their issues. They just let it, die with them, and they just, do something different. And y'all are asking, why is he dating a white woman? Maybe because you're too loud. But when he says you're loud, then you're saying he's attacking you. You don't even want him to be honest. You don't want him to be vulnerable. You'll ask men to be vulnerable, but as soon as men become vulnerable, then you judge them. Then you say they are attacking you.
All I know. And then I get to the white woman, and it's different. And what he said after this is what really broke me. He said, you know, it's like when I came home the last time. He said, and I was in my family's event. It was nothing but chaos. He said the women, they in house shoes and bonnets, you know, they ghetto acting. He said, and I love them, but I don't love it.
Okay.
He said, being with my white girlfriend, fiance, and her family, he said, you know what it's like? And this is what got me, ladies. He said, it's like if you're in a crowded room and you're surrounded by chaos and just everything, and everything is just chaotic and noisy and loud and disruptive, and you take some headphones and you put the headphones on and you can drown everything out, because when you put the headphones on, it's quiet and it's peace. He said, that's what my fiance is to me and her white family. That whiteness, he said, they're my headphones and they are my peace.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that? If that's actually how he feels. Y'all scream how men should be vulnerable, men hide their emotions, men never speak about what they go through. Most men want peace. Black men have been saying they want peace, 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 peace 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. You don't listen. And then when they decide to stop talking about it and choose wisely and go somewhere else where they will find peace, now you have an issue with it. So it's like, what is a black man supposed to do? Should he talk about what he's experiencing or not? Should we do what's best in the best interest for him or not? But you still want him to stay in the same bad environment. He's trying to break a generational curse right now. He doesn't want to raise his family in the same chaotic trauma, drama, chaos, negative energy that he grew up around. He's trying to change the future, the trajectory of his family tree. But you don't want it. Because anytime a man tries to do better, those around him who never encouraged him, they don't want him to do any better. They don't want him to do better than them. They want him to stay in the same level where they are. They don't want to push him to be better out in the world. Because they believe if he does any better, he's forgetting them. He's going to forget them. He has changed. No, he's changing for the better. Instead of focusing on what his experience is, maybe we should focus on how we can change what that young man experienced. How can we change the story of the next black man? How can we change the story of the young black men and women right now? Because they're going to grow up in the world, and then they also have to try and fight to change the same chaos they grew up around, man. This woman at her age should be asking, what can we do better as a black community to change the narrative of our kids growing up in chaos, seeing uncles and single moms and aunties fighting at the cookouts, having 2-3 baby daddies, 2 baby mamas. How can we change that around the black community? Because it affects the kids. And then it affects the grandkids, and then the generational curse keeps going around, and then the trauma bonding, and then low marriage rates, high divorce rates, high single mother household, prison system, like all those things. That should be what this woman should have been talking about, rather than feeling offended because a young black man decided he's tired of the chaos he grew up around and wants to change the trajectories of his life. Let me go through the comments, because I know the comments are going to be on our side. See, exactly. That man didn't get introduced to a white family. He was shown a healthy family and a successful life. Amen. It has nothing to do with color. I'm white. My family is the chaos, and I've dated a black guy, and him and his family were my peace. Stop looking at the skin and look at the soul. I agree with this lady. She's right. The right person brings you in peace no matter what their race, in my opinion. I agree. It's not the race, it's the chaos, it's the environment. Chaos can be found in all families. I agree. His life was chaotic and she brought him peace. Chaos and peace comes in all forms, shapes. I agree. Everyone seems to be, agreeing with me. That anytime a man chooses to stop the chaos and the trauma he grew up around, women like her don't like it. What do you guys think about that? All right, next up, this woman broke up her relationship for social media. Let's get into it.
Firstly, hi, my name's Aaliyah. I have 2 boys and I was months away from 10 whole years of marriage. I do want to briefly say I started social media 2.5 years ago. Accidentally, and people are like, no, nothing's accidental. No, it isn't. I posted it to my friends, it went viral. I chose to run with it, okay? Since then, I've shared lots of things with you guys. You've even seen me grow my family on the internet with my last baby, Jedi. So now social media is a career. When choosing to walk away from my marriage, I constantly wrestled with the idea of how am I going to share it? Will I share it all? Will I do the thing where no one talks about it and then just moves on and deletes every comment that suggests otherwise? Do I just stay silent? Or do I just own it? And although I've shared many things across the years, I have made it absolutely known that this will be nothing more than authentic. I won't do anything that isn't true or factual. So although I'll get ready with you, I'll share a good OOTD, I'm really sharing my life, my honest truth, my reality. And I just had a feeling that the world would behave the way it behaved when a woman said, no, I don't want this anymore. Because apparently, as women, we can't say that. We shouldn't say that. If we're not being or beaten, stay there. Doesn't matter how you feel, stay there. That is the way that society thinks. And I just hate that. So I've chosen to share it and empower anyone else who feels like me. But also, let's make it a norm. I'm not normalizing divorce. I'm normalizing choosing yourself and your happiness over.
No, you're normalizing divorce. Because in her words, there was no abuse, physical abuse in this case. But she's choosing that over her social media. In the beginning, she talked about how she struggled with choosing with how to maintain a family in her social media because she went viral. And so this is what this is why, social media can be such a bad thing sometimes when it comes to relationships. Because when someone goes viral and becomes famous per se, gets followers and things like that, they feel more attached to that, to those people who follow them rather than to their own family members. For me, my prediction is when she started making some money from social media, maybe even more than the husband, she grew wings. She felt like she can do better than the husband, if I'm going to be honest. So that's why she divorced the man.
Over a marriage just because marriage is okay in society. Like, stop. So I'm owning it. I've owned it. I'm getting a divorce. It doesn't matter what you say in the comments. And on my last post, everybody took the three words of three lines I wrote and ran with it. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that lots of them who ran with it aren't even married because they can't understand, they won't understand, and that's okay. But as a married woman of almost 10 years, soon to be divorced, I can tell you, marriage, good or bad, holds this safety net of internal validation, external validation, and society just thinks, oh, you're married, great. Do you know how many people say, well done for you for being married? They don't even know how my marriage is. It's insanity. Stop. So good, bad, or ugly, we're just supposed to stay in it. Till death do us part, right?
Yeah, because you made the vows. We didn't make those vows for you. You made those vows. Till death do you part. Now, if you're saying those words don't mean nothing for you, that's one thing. Then you shouldn't have said those words in the first place. Because let me guess, in the next sentence, you're going to claim you believe in God and ABCD, yet you use the same God to make those vows. There's a reason they make you say those vows, to prevent things like this, to prevent someone breaking up their family because they got some social media famous kind of thing going on, because they got some money from social media. And what she's doing, as they always say, misery loves company. What she's simply doing is to put it out there in the world for other women to break up, to divorce, to break up their families so she can feel better about herself.
So drag yourself, dead or not, to the very end. That's what we should do. No, stop it now. In time, I eventually will speak about my entire situation, my entire marriage, but more. There's more things that I've experienced that I've shared online that people relate to, like toxic relationships with their parents, all of it. I do want to talk about it because I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm aware there's another person involved. He's not really a social media guy, and he also has a life to live too. And let's be real, we also want him to get remarried again. I will not be the reason why that man's single, okay? So we're going to just wait our time until we tell the full story. But for now, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and your cup won't be refilled out of thin air. It doesn't. You have to make a change, or you'll find yourself taking from other people's cups around you. And secondly, not all divorces mean that you're running away with the children and the father is not going to see them anymore. Like,
it doesn't matter. As long as mom and dad are not in the same house, those kids are going to be affected to some extent. And this is why this is kind of a selfish decision, because clearly you didn't think about the kids. Number two, I personally believe she really made this video to her followers to feel better about herself, to make herself think that she's doing the right thing. Because I know in the comments, I don't even care to check the comments. I know in the comments, the ladies are going to be there saying, go girl, do your thing. But now reverse the roles. Imagine this was a man who got famous on TikTok and now he's divorcing his wife because of TikTok and talking about, I'm not happy, because that's all they say. I'm not happy. It was toxic. Do you think the same ladies who are telling her to do her thing, choose herself, put herself first, choose her happiness, do you think those ladies would tell the husband, if he was the one divorcing her, that choose yourself, you go man, you do your thing, put yourself first, you know, you don't have to stay in a marriage where you're not happy? They would call him a deadbeat. They would call him a man of no integrity. A man who lacks discipline and dignity, that he can't stay down and take care of his family and stick to the vows he made. Just imagine that. If this was a man making this kind of video that, hey guys, I'm announcing I'm leaving my wife because I'm not happy, they would probably cancel him. They'll probably stop following him on social media.
can we just stop? Like, oh, because I'm choosing to separate from you emotionally, mentally, legally, that doesn't mean my kids are doing the same. And
yes, they are.
Mad to suggest otherwise, really, seriously. So yeah, I'm due to be divorced. I don't regret my marriage and I don't regret asking for the divorce. The only regret I have is not choosing myself sooner. And I'll stand on that, regardless of the comments. So yeah.
See, it's always them, me. I choose myself. I do this, me. It's all about me. You have kids. How about the kids? How about the person you made vows to? Because once you get in a marriage, I've never been married, but it's just common sense. It doesn't take rocket science to know once you get married and you make the vows, it's no longer just about you. There are other people involved in the marriage. Are there kids? Yes. Do you have a husband? Yes. You have to consult those people and think about the consequences, the ramifications that it's going to have on those people once you decide you're choosing me. And this is why men are clearly tired of getting married. Because eventually, 10 years down the road, she's going to get TikTok famous and she's going to be like, I'm choosing me.
I have no plan. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I do know that
of course you don't.
More than what I can with you, because there's no shame in choosing yourself, for goodness sake. And everybody fighting in the comments on behalf of my soon-to-be ex-husband. There's no bad blood between them. I'm really sorry to break it to you, but there is no bad blood, okay? So again, until I can share my full story, I'll continue to share my reality. And maybe, just maybe, me owning and sharing my story will help many other people do the same with theirs.
Told you. Did you hear what she just said? I'm going to share my story so I can help other people. Misery loves company. Because she could have said, hey guys, I'm getting divorced, but don't think this is what you should do. I'm getting divorced for my own reasons. You don't have to go divorced. No, but she's saying I'm helping other people do the same thing. Like me. Misery loves company. What do they always say? Single women love nothing more than other single women joining them. Single women hate women who are happily married. Because there's going to be a happily married woman who's going to look at this, and then the thought of, let me put myself first, I'm not happy, and then it's going to plant a seed, and then 6 months, 2 years from now, she's also going to do exactly what this woman is doing because she's TikTok famous. What do you guys think about that? It's tough out here. All right, next up, shout out to Lapif. Let's talk. Crazy out here. Women are choosing their boss over their husbands. Let's go.
Is a woman's freedom making her harder to protect, love, and lead?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, what?
I ain't gonna lie. Because you got have where certain men, they don't even want a woman to have those traits of being, let's say, liberated, and you got certain women that have an over exaggeration of what it means in that sense. Like now they feel like they gotta equal out what men do, or even what men they've dealt with in the past do. So they have this over, and I don't like to say masculine energy, but like this over aggressive energy about them.
It is, but I'm gonna speak from my perspective in regards to that. Just because I think we don't understand that love in itself is freedom. And part of that love is to reign in yourself, right? So I think what happens a lot of times, and I'm gonna say just based on history and society, the way it's structured, is that men have a difficult time with learning how to operate or exercise with freedom for a woman, because historically women were put in position, or society was set up where there wasn't a level of freedom. There were conditions set up where it made it easier for men to control the situation, right? Women depended on men because they didn't have finances in order to take care of themselves, or in order for you to even make it within society, you had to get married, right?
But nothing is really, I mean, a few things have changed, but even now when women make money, they still want the man to take care of them. So that hasn't really changed. Just because she makes millions of dollars, she's not planning to share it with a man she gets with or married to or dates. She still expects that man, whether he's making more or less, for the most part, they want him to make more. She still wants him to pay her bills, and she keeps some money for herself. So that hasn't really changed. The only thing that has changed is the divorces. Once they don't get what they want, divorce. Once they don't get what they want, breakups. They're like the quick to change men. That's the main thing that has changed. But when it comes to the money and wanting men to provide, that hasn't changed at all.
So it made it a lot easier for men to protect and move in a certain way, because the environment was set up like that. However, now you're on the opposite end of that, where there isn't any structures that are in place to force, that situation. And I think that's where men are having difficulty with that transition, and women are also fighting against it because it looks like to them a level of control. And I think there's kind of a validity on both sides with feeling like that. I think women are feeling like men think that in order for them to protect, that they have to control them, right? And I think on the other end of that, men are saying, I can't protect you if you don't allow me to control you. But if we're operating in operating in love, it's freedom. So I'm going to submit to you freely. It's not something you can make me do, right? So, that's kind of the way that I look at that.
No. So, first of all, I disagree with that like 99.9%. The only thing that she said right is the fact that a man cannot force a woman to submit. So the man has just to leave. Leave. If she can't submit, just leave, right? Because if she doesn't submit, she's still going to expect you to pay all the bills. So if she can't do that, just leave. But number one, men don't have an issue with wanting to control women. Men have an issue with women expecting men to be providers, but they bring no value. They just want you to provide for them just because they are women. No. And men are pushing back. They're saying, no, you still want me to provide and protect, like in the 1960s or 50s or 40s, when you claim you didn't have jobs, but you don't even want to cook? No. So when men say, hey, if you want me to provide, I'm expecting this in return, women don't want that either. So men are not taking the deal. That's where they call it control. And then they call that you want to control me. No, it's not that I want to control you. All I'm saying, mama, if you want me to provide and protect, what am I getting in return? It's like nothing. It's because you're a man. No. That's not how it works. If I'm going to go kill my body and work 60, 80 hours a week, you gotta bring some value to my life, not because you're just a woman. That's it.
I think you're saying if we're operating in love, it's freedom. If we're not operating in love, are you saying it's no control?
I don't think you have to control somebody in order to protect them. Meaning, if there's a level of trust and there is a level of vulnerability, and I'm saying I'm walking into this knowing that I'm gonna give you the trust and responsibility to protect and take care of me.
You cannot protect someone that you have no control over. I'm going to repeat it. You cannot protect someone that you have no control over. Parents protect their kids, but they control what their kids eat. They control what schools their kids go to. They control what time the kids come back to the house. The kid is not going to stay out of the house 11 p.m. The mom, the dad is going to be like, whose house do you think you're walking into at 11 p.m., midnight? That's called control, because they have protection over them. So you cannot protect what you can't control. They hate the word control because to them comes off like it's negative. But it's just semantics. The real thing is you cannot protect what you can't control.
How can I protect a woman if I don't have control over the situation?
Exactly.
You control the situation. You don't necessarily control the what we had. Did
you
we
do
have this conversation before?
Well, I'm just taking the word you use. Y'all use the word control. We typically use the word lead.
Facts.
Somehow y'all just don't want to use the word leadership. Y'all just want to use the word control.
Facts.
To absolve yourself from submitting to a man.
Yep.
Who is y'all?
Whoever it applied to, the hit dog holler.
I think that's very different. Leading and controlling are two different things.
No, they are not. If you are leading an army, you control which zones they can go in and which zones they cannot go to. I'm the army general on the battlefield, I'm the leader. I can tell them, now you can fire a missile, or wait to see what the enemy is doing. I'm controlling their actions. Oh my God. And to say, I mean, this is not rocket science. Oh my God.
And when you experience it, you can pretty much identify what that is.
Well, you spoke on protection and it transitioned to the word control.
Yeah.
But you never decided, for some reason, you didn't transition to the leadership when you were speaking on protection.
Yep.
You didn't hear me say about submission and that's free and you give that freely.
You said men want to protect, or you said something along the lines of men struggle to protect the woman because they can't control her. Am I correct?
Right, because y'all find that to be synonymous. What I'm saying is that isn't.
No, we don't.
They're not synonymous. They go hand in hand. You can't have protection without control. That's all he's saying, and that's what I'm saying.
We find protection and leadership to be synonymous. Protection is how the way we protect you is preventing you from doing stupid shit.
Facts.
Or preventing you from ruining a relationship from your end.
Facts.
So we have to have some type of control or authority in a relationship.
So I guess
it's not wrong. I don't know why y'all think it's wrong or think it's bad for a man to have some type of control. When you can go to work and work for your boss, and he can have the authority and control over you. He can tell you when and where you can clock in and clock out.
But is that what you consider leadership? That's my point.
Damn right.
Your boss
there's a reason behind why I'm telling you not to
leave. You can leave. I've left jobs because I did not like
women are filing at a 70% rate at initiation for divorce. We know you could leave.
Exactly. They leave. They not even forget about the divorce. Even just usual relationships. They leave whenever they want to. As soon as they think you're controlling them, they leave. But I can guarantee you one thing for sure is they listen to their bosses more than they listen to their husbands or boyfriends.
Well, that's
you can leave.
That's my point. So when you guys try to use the example like, oh, you go and listen to your boss every day, there are so many people that leave their job for that very reason.
Yeah, but eventually they go to another job where they're still going to be controlled. And if we're going to be honest, on average, most jobs have the same control mechanisms. There's control when you're going into the building. You may have a badge. That's control. You cannot go in without scanning your badge. There's control about what time you should get there. They're controlling what time, otherwise you would come anytime. They're controlling what time you can punch in, when you can take your break. They're controlling how much sick time and vacation time you can take. So even if you leave one job for another, that other job has certain control mechanisms that you have to adhere to. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep leaving every other job. You can do that with men. You can go from man to man. But with jobs, you can't do that. And that's why we are saying you listen to your bosses more than you listen to your man.
There's a totally different.
So how are you invalidating my comparison?
That when there's a boss that you've had that have great leadership skills, right? And they have this in terms of leading. They lead by example. They walk that walk, right? Their behavior shows certain things about, I trust that you know your job and I'm gonna allow you to do it. Is a lack of micromanagement, like those kind of things. It puts you in a position to thrive, right? And when you are free to thrive, you typically want that person's input.
Your boss does not have to lead by an example. Your boss simply have to give you a list of tasks and instructions that he don't necessarily have to show you an example of how to do it. He can train you. You'd have somebody train you.
Yeah.
And he could just say, hey, look, you qualify for this position based on your skills. You know how to do this. I'm going to relegate these tasks to you. Go perform them. I don't have to lead by example. I don't got to show you. Just go and do them.
Facts.
Yeah, but
there's no problem with that, right?
Yeah, but you don't want your person to be in an uncomfortable position, right? Nobody likes to be controlled. I mean, half of y'all podcast because you don't want to go to work. You want to be able to freely get on and be flexible. Nope.
Yeah, but YouTube controls me. If I start some hate speech and some crazy stuff, YouTube has control mechanisms that I have to adhere to. I cannot just broadcast anything. Even me talking right now, it's part of a YouTube control mechanisms, which is fair use, where I actually have to give my perspective if I'm reacting to a video. I cannot just play the video all through. That's part of control. They are controlling how I deliver my content. I react to other content, but I actually have to speak and give my opinion, not to watch the whole thing and just post someone else's video without actually giving any, adding any substance to it. That's control. They just don't like the word.
Nobody wants to be stiff like anywhere. And that's even in a relationship. You don't want to be somebody's like always telling you this, and this. Now, we're not saying women should just be reckless and causing, drama and pretty much leaving the whole family vulnerable because you got to protect them from themselves. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that too much control, like you're just being overly controlling. That's toxic.
But most men aren't overly controlling. Why are we treating it like that? Like most men, even your boss, your boss don't have to micromanage you, but he does have control.
Facts.
Like he doesn't have most bosses don't want to have to micromanage you. Most men don't want to have to micromanage your life and say do this and do that, and then they got to come behind you every 2 seconds to make sure you're doing it right. But he should be able to, with his leadership, he should be able to tell you to do something and it gets done, and he leaves it up to you on how you need to get it done.
What are you saying? Women don't do that? That doesn't sound like.
No, not all women do that. Some women actually see it as controlling. They expect a man to pay all the bills, to do everything a man should do. But as soon as he says, make me a sandwich, you are controlling me.
I didn't say that at all. The whole conversation was about how controlling men are. I didn't say whether women did anything or not. I'm just asking, why is it always seen as when men say that they need control or leadership, or they need somebody to be willing to follow them when it comes to their leadership, because we have to protect you, that y'all always resort to the worst common denominator, which is an overly controlling man that wants to micromanage you.
Facts.
Most men don't want
most men who sit there and say they want control, that most men who are leaders don't have to tell people that we automatically follow.
How do you?
That's not true, because every man is different. Number one. So if we agree, the way I would love to run my household is not the way the next man is gonna wanna run his household. So that means if this lady deals with me, I'm gonna have to give her certain instructions. Hey, I want my kids to go to public school or private school. Another guy may want his kids to do homeschooling. That's part of control. We are controlling the way we're gonna raise our family. Hey, I want to live in the big city or not. Every man has instructions. So it's just because women just don't just know out of the blue on how a man wants to control the situation.
You know that.
You don't have to articulate that.
How do you know that?
Let me just tell you this. If you're telling your woman, I want to have control, there's something wrong with their life.
Shane, I'm sorry, but you don't know what we're telling our women. However, we are having a public discussion. It's a public discussion where we're expressing to y'all. No, wait.
Okay.
Where we're expressing to y'all what us as men, as a community, need from our women. I think we should be free to express that. I don't understand why every time we express that, you say we get this pushback as, well, most men don't have to have that conversation with their women. Yeah, but we do have to have. Go ahead.
So you want me to, you don't want to talk, I'm talking in general, most people. You're talking about people who complain on the internet. That's not most people, okay? So when I'm talking about most people who are in flourishing relationships, they're not having these conversations controlled between their husbands. Not the people, most of my friends are married. So we're talking about in general, real life in general.
I am also talking about in general, but that's why I said most men aren't trying to control you or micromanage you. But when you said most men aren't having these conversations with their women, you're right. We're not, but we are having these conversations with y'all online.
Yeah, I think she thinks that women just walk into every man's life and they submit all the way through just like that. Like I said, every man has the way he runs his life, he runs his household. So that man has to actually communicate, hey, baby, listen, I don't want my kids to do this. I don't want you to do this. This is the expectation. Cooking, don't cook, maid or no maid. Those are expectations. So most people have those conversations. And the people who don't have those conversations, eventually they break up and they claim the communication was bad. But man, shout out to Lapeef. This was a good conversation. All right. Link down below to Lapeef Network channel. Next up, our favorite of the show, of the channel, Kendra G. All right, let's get into it. The woman said you got to make 250,000. Let's go.
Virgo. So we got Tia, 25, Virgo, lives in New York City, works with kids and adults with disability, and no kids yourself, right? Never married?
No, and I'm a student as well.
And you're a student, okay. All right, Tia, what kind of man you looking for?
So I'm dating, and I'm on like a couple dating apps, and I meet men in person, but I guess someone that's kind, intelligent, that's major for me, educated, preferably no kids because I have no kids, and just
that's fair.
Just a good person.
A good person.
Financially secure.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
I think my deal breakers is any criminal record, someone that's not sensitive to kids or adults with disability or people that are like different than them. Like I have ADHD. That's something that I've kind of always had, and I discovered I had it like in my early 20s. So that's a part of my identity, and I work with kids, and when I graduate I'll be a special education like teacher. So someone that's just very in tune with knowing that there's neurodivergent people out there. So that's important for me. I guess a deal breaker would be not being understanding of that. Another deal breaker would be a lot of kids. 1 in 50-50 relationship, like 1 in a 50-50 situationship. And
she wants a provider. We're getting there. She wants a provider, no 50-50. So that means the man is going to have to pay 100% of the bills because she damn sure isn't paying 100% of the bills. Let's go.
Any type of abusiveness.
So you don't want a 50-50 relationship?
No, that's not culturally. I'm Jamaican. So.
Okay. So that means you want a provider 100%.
Yeah.
80, 90%, even 70%. Yeah, a provider.
80, 90%. Okay.
I absolutely do not believe her. I don't believe that the way she threw out the 50-50, I don't believe she's the type of woman that, she's going to be willing to share her money with a man. I don't believe she even wants to pay 20%. That's just me.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
I'm 5'8", so I would prefer someone 5'9" and up.
Someone 5'9" and up. Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Here we go.
Yeah, so I do want to get married and I want kids in the future. So I would say upwards of like a quarter, middle six figures.
So 250,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh Lord. $250,000. I don't know where they get these numbers from. I don't know if they know the percentage of men who make that money in the US. I don't know if they're hoping to get a Dubai prince. But this is sad. This is crazy. And I'm at a loss of words because, guys, the average man is getting worse. Every single day it's getting worse. So to her, if you make 200,000, if you make 150, if you make $100,000, if you make $70,000, you are not good enough because Super Stellar Tia only wants men making 250 grand. So we're gonna have to check back in 10, 15 years and see if she got this kind of man. Because every woman seems to be wanting this kind of man.
So does the man have a shot with you if he makes less than that or projected to make less than that or no?
No, I want kids, and kids are expensive. I work with kids 5 to 7 days a week, so.
Okay, so no man that's not making that or projected to make that.
Can I tell you my age range? Maybe that will make more sense to you and the men dating. So I'm used to dating like executives, people in tech, doctors, business owners, and a lot of them do make that amount or higher.
So what's up with that guy?
Good question. Where are they?
Well, kids. They have kids, or they don't want to be a provider, or things just happen.
So they make the amount of money and they still don't want to be a provider?
Yeah, they want 50-50 relationships.
Yeah, because what are they getting in return? Okay, you want the provider, he has the money, but he looks at the situation. He looks, because men who make that kind of money, they don't make the money by being dumb. They clearly do, the analysis and the cost benefit analysis. They're like, okay, if I'm gonna provide for Stella Tia, she looks good. What am I getting in return from Stella? What is she gonna do for me? What kind of value is worth my 250 grand? And they're like, no, not worth it. Because all you've talked about is what you want from the man. I think this is a gem for the ladies. For the ladies going on Kendra G, I believe this would help the ladies. Come on the show and tell Kendra what you are going to do for a man. Knowing exactly what you want from a man, you'll have lots of men coming your way. Because finally there's going to be a woman who actually is saying what value she adds to a man rather than what she's expecting from a man. That's why you have dealt with all these men making good money, but they don't want to provide for Tia.
So you date the men that make $250K and they still want a 50-50 relationship?
Yeah, many men don't want to be providers. It's a thing.
No, they don't want to provide for you. And ask yourself why.
Or some of them don't want to have kids, or they're a certain age. So the age range I date, I would say, would be like 30 and up.
Okay. but 250K is the minimum.
I want to be married and I want to have kids. So I would say, I don't want to put a number in it because I feel like there's a stigma when you put a number on it.
No, it's not a stigma. What you just did is crossed out, canceled out almost 95% of men, of all single, if you want black men. You just canceled out 95% of all single men, maybe even more, because $250,000 may be in the top 2-3%. So probably 97% of men have been canceled out because that's your number.
So, well, I mean, here's the deal. The question can be skipped, and sometimes not. No, excuse me. The question can't be skipped, but I mean, the answer doesn't have. The answer could be whatever it is, right? So there's some women who don't care, but you obviously do care. So I guess the clarity is this: you want to have children, and when you have children, you do not want to work at all.
Oh no, my career trajectory is teacher, specialist, lawyer. So I do want to work, but I do want someone that will provide for the family. Like that's
So she wants to work. I will translate what she's saying. She wants to be able to work, save her money, but she wants a man who's going to be able to pay the bills. So the man can work, pay the bills for everybody. She can work and save her money, just in case.
I guess sometimes I've heard this question from the men. So what happens with all the money that you make if he's the sole provider?
Mm-hmm. It goes into the household, it goes into the kids, it goes into investment, travel, stuff like that.
But if he's the sole provider providing 100%, that doesn't make sense. So he's going to be 70-30%, 80-20? That doesn't make sense.
Okay. So he's the sole provider of all the living expenses, and your money is the extracurricular activity.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We got the explanation. Okay.
I don't believe her.
Kendra Cam. Oh, Karen State.
I like to go hiking and exercise and stuff like that. So, my schedule is a little bit packed right now, but when I'm not so packed, I'm very active.
When you're not so packed, okay. Let me see. We got some paid questions, child.
Let's go.
This one said, Kendra, go ahead and get your drawing pad ready. Save her some time.
Facts.
So I have been known to draw people for people when they say something that we think is not going to happen. I'm not going to draw your man, though.
Come on, Kendra.
I'm not asking for a lot. These are the men that I date.
But you don't have one of those men right now. That should tell you something. And you, in your words, you said when you have met the men who can make the kind of money that you want, they didn't provide for you. So look in the mirror, baby girl, and ask yourself why.
Yeah, okay, but let me challenge that. So one will say, if these are the men that you date, then you don't even need to be with us. You should be able to close the deal then because you already have access to the men that you date.
Exactly.
So that actually kind of makes it worse because what you're telling us is you have access to these men, but you're not closing the deal with them to get what you want, I guess, which is to be their wife.
Red flag alert.
I see your point there. My goal isn't to be someone's wife that doesn't want me to be their wife. So it has to be equally aligned, right?
So that means you're no wife material. That's all it means. But obviously, you don't want to take accountability. You don't want to look in the mirror and find out exactly what those men want. I think that's the main issue she has and some ladies have. They talk about what they want from those men, but they never think about what would that man want from me. Figure out what those men want from a woman. That way, when you meet them, you can close the deal.
Like right now, my focus right now is making sure I can provide for myself. But whoever is coming in my life, I want them to be able to provide as well.
See, again.
That's why I'm in grad school. That's why I plan to go to law school. I want to be a boss chick. I want to be able to provide and take care of myself. But whoever else is going to be in that picture needs to also be able to do that. So it's not.
Oh my gosh, she wants a sugar daddy. Just say it. You don't want to be a wife. You don't want to, be a traditional woman. You just want to be a boss ass chick, strong, independent woman who only needs a man for his money. You just want a sugar baby. You just want to be a sugar baby. Just say it. Like, just save us the time. Because no man is going to that deal just for the sake of it. Like, no man is looking to provide for super stellar tier just for the sake of it. I mean, if you're already going to be making this money for yourself, why do you want a man to provide for you? I mean, you're going to be paying for yourself anyway.
It's not like I'm asking for something that I can't do for myself.
Okay, then do it for yourself.
No, I get that. I think this is where, listen, I always tell people I'm not a relationship expert. I'm not a life coach. I don't give myself those titles. What I will say is I have a journalist background. And for the last 5 years, I have been talking to more than really, I think the number is more than 15,000 single people. So with that, I've collected a lot of data. And I was talking about this the other day, and I get the boss chick mentality because the boss chick says kind of what she says. I can provide this for myself, so I'm only asking what you can do in return, which makes sense. I get that logical thinking, right? Mm-hmm. But the disconnect, the man that usually makes that amount, he dates with a different mindset.
Yeah.
I don't think any man wants a stupid woman to be his wife because they want somebody smart enough to raise their kids. I don't think any man even wants necessarily a broke woman, right? But I think it's not, they don't always say, I want my financial equal. It's more so, I want the woman that fits within my lifestyle. And sometimes it could be a woman who makes half of what you make. She wins out of availability for the things that he needs, right?
Facts.
So, but either way, I will.
It's more about what are you willing to provide that man. That's the only thing they miss. They want all these things from a man. Provide for me, do this, be nice, ABCD. But they never have a list of the value they provide to that man. And they never even think about it. They just think about what is he going to do for me. It's never about what can I give him in return to paying all my bills. Some think it's sex, but it's beyond sex, especially if you're talking about marriage.
Good.
So I was dating this guy for 3 months recently, and it's funny enough that you're talking about this. The reason that I had to cut off that relationship was a few things came up that I didn't agree with. So he does well for himself. He's in tech, but we got into a conversation about like what happens if I get pregnant or what happens if we're married and I have kids. So his take is that he knows people that have kids and goes back to work in 3 months, 6 months. My take is that if I'm having a child with a man, I want to be able to be there for that child at least until they can talk. So,
but I asked you this question, and I said you want to have kids and you don't want to work, and you said that's not true. I'm a student. I want to do this. Then, your volume went out, honey.
I'm sorry. Until they can talk, as in I want to go back to work. As in that is something that I wouldn't mind doing, but I want to be there. I want to heal after I have a child. Black women have the highest mortality rate. So it all comes into play. So I would want to be with someone that if I can't work or if I can't contribute to the household, they can pick up the slack 100% without anything.
So how many years is that? So the child could talk like 2 years old?
Yeah.
Right.
For him, that was absolutely not.
Okay.
So that's why I had to, that and a few other reasons was why I had to break that off.
Okay. Fair.
I mean, at the end of the day, pretty good looking lady, but she's going to struggle. Especially because of the amount that she's asking for. She could do well with, I don't know how much she makes, but she could do well with an average guy and just start to build together. But to her, that looks like she's dating down and putting her lowering her standards and settling. And this is why I said it's getting worse for the average guy. Because all the numbers they're throwing out is in the top 3%, top 5%.
Fair enough. So you guys were in a relationship?
Yeah, we were dating for months. I literally broke it off, I think earlier.
Were you guys dating or were you guys in a relationship?
3 months.
What?
All right. We were dating for 3 months.
Okay. But you guys weren't in an exclusive relationship?
No, I was in an exclusive relationship with my ex up until like December.
Okay. Oh, so you went to him. And now your ex made your 250 quality, 250,000 a year?
Way more.
So why you break up with him?
Good question.
I don't want to get into it. So it's personal.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, so these are the men that you frequent. So you feel as though, I would say this. I know that if you are around the men in that tax bracket, that is, I mean, I know it seems like it's normal, but that is an exceptional tax bracket. It is. So don't negate that. I think you are doing a good job because you are dating within your circle, so that's good. So now I'm getting more of the backstory of where your standards coming from.
But I think the issue is after dating all these men, I think like you say, like she said, she broke up with the last guy because he didn't meet a certain requirement of her staying home after she gives birth, right? Of going back to work after she gives birth. But I think one thing she hasn't learned from all her experiences dating rich men is that she hasn't learned what they want. She only focuses on what she wants. She's trying to make sure the man qualifies for her. She hasn't thought about, okay, do I qualify for them? What about what they want? And to find a compromise and a balance. It's like she wants a man who makes this kind of money, wants to pay all the bills, wants me to stay home, wants to do A, B, C, D, but she has never thought about, okay, where can we meet in the middle? Because I know he wants certain things. Where can I, if I have a list of 10 things, can I get at least 7 things and let the other 3 go? And then, but hey, good luck.
Okay. All right. Let's continue. So what are your 3 flaws? Wait, did I ask you when we got your last relationship? When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
TMI.
Okay. And 3 flaws you have to work on?
My time, I have a time, because of my ADHD, sometimes I have time blindness. I've gotten it down from my teenage years from like an hour or 2 to about 15 minutes now. So I've been actively working on that for like 10 years.
Been working on what?
Time blindness. So sometimes I have more time than I have and I don't. So I'll like run a little late.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
That's diagnosed with something? Because I definitely got that. Child, what is it called? I thought it was CP time. There's another word for it.
Called time blindness. So
I guess all women have that. They want you to wait for them half an hour later, and they don't want you to be mad. And if you get mad and check them on it, they become the victims. Oh, how can you not understand? I mean, it's not like I'm 2 hours late. I'm only 45 minutes late. They play the victim once you check them on being late. So just a word to you guys who are going on dates.
When you have ADHD, you have a few things that are quirks for some people.
Child, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody late it's a shame. You almost gotta lie to me to get me on time. Like you should tell me it starts 2 hours earlier to get me on time. But okay, that's the thing. Thank you for that. 2 more flaws.
I think
being entitled.
I think I expect a lot from people because I expect a lot from myself. So
No, that's called being entitled, baby girl. That's called being entitled. That's it.
That could be a flaw, and I can walk away from anything. Like I'm a lover and a leaver. That's what I tell people.
Red flag. Red flag. You're gonna get married to her. She's gonna file for divorce as soon as something doesn't go her way. Like I said, she wants everything in her way. She has no compromise at all. She has no balance. She's not trying to be understanding. Anything you do, she's just going to break up the family. So those are red flags. But no matter what I say, she's a good looking woman. So some of you guys are still going to, reach out. But I know majority of you won't because you're probably broke like me. You don't got the 250 grand. So, hey, at least I'm not going to be alone. All right. So shout out to Kendra. I'm not going to watch the other 15 minutes. I'll put the link down below. All right. Next, older women don't like the fact that young men want them just to clap cheeks. Let's go.
I am 45 years old. Some of you may know that. If you're new here, you probably don't. But I mean, I'm only saying that because a lot of people tell me I look a lot younger.
No, you look your age.
Guys go after.
Nope, you look your age, mama. Let's go.
Me, I mean, older guys do too. It's a wide range, but a lot of younger guys go after me, and when they find out how old I am, it like doesn't matter to them, even though we don't have the same like trajectory in life. Like, I'm in a totally different stage of life. Like, they don't care, and I just constantly get reminded every time a younger guy tries to develop something with me. It always ends up being that one thing that they always want, and that's all they care about. And I'm a mature, experienced woman who is not looking for hookups. I never put out that energy, but it's like a challenge, and I don't understand it. Like, why do guys bark up the wrong tree?
No, it's not a wrong tree. I mean, you look good. So young men just want to clap cheeks, you know, with all the testosterone running around, you know. Clearly men your age are not coming up to you, or if they do, they don't find you that attractive. What, for whatever reason, you haven't found a guy your age or older. So if you're getting more younger men coming at you, you're not bad looking. So they just want to clap cheeks, if we're gonna be honest. Plus, usually they know, because they are younger and you're probably struggling with men your age bracket, they think they're gonna have a chance, if we're gonna be honest. So they just want to clap cheeks. You shouldn't be surprised. You're 45, so you should know by now.
And it really isn't that important why, because more important is how do I handle it. I am not saying that every younger guy is immature or looking for the same thing, but I can speak from my experience, and every younger guy that tries to get with me ends up being about that one thing, just wanting fun times, good times, you know, not caring to get to know me as a person and develop something meaningful before jumping into things, and then expecting things to just work out. Like, that's the problem. I don't know, what do you guys think? I feel like that's the problem right now with the dating culture, is that everybody just wants the good times and the fun part, but they don't want what builds the long-term, long-lasting good part, which is the deeper.
No, because you are 45, so somewhere along the way you met couple good men, you know. So if you met couple good men somewhere along the way, and you didn't stay with them, for someone who likes, you know, getting to know someone and ABCD, all these things, why didn't you settle down with one of those good guys that you met? Because I can assure you, the men you put in the friend zone, there are some good men you left, maybe because they didn't make enough money, maybe because they're not cool enough, for whatever reason you left them. You could have settled with those guys. So what's really happening right now is life. You know, at the end of the day, life is gonna put all of us where we fit in. So maybe the choices you made when you were younger, the consequences are showing up right now. So younger dudes are hitting you up. So you may have to settle with one of those young bucks. I mean, they have enough testosterone to blow your back out. So you may have as well go with that.
Connection, getting to know each other, making sure that the red flags are not gonna cause serious issues, you know, all of the above. And in a way, like, guys around my age or older don't really, on average, take very good care of themselves, and I pride myself on taking good care of myself from the inside out. And it's hard for me because of that. So the younger guys that do approach me or pursue me, they don't understand, like, okay, you may be mature or whatever, you may have your shit together in some ways, but that experience of relationship history, of knowing how a long-term relationship works, what it takes to have a long-term relationship with someone, like, that's missing for a lot of guys. But not only that, it's like they just want to rush straight to that one thing, and for me, that's a huge turnoff. So yeah, I'm so tired of the scam artists, the freaking manipulators, the immature, just want what they want and don't care about anything else and will do anything to get it type. Like, if you want something easy and fast, go find it, but stop barking up the wrong tree. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you guys think? Please.
You're wrong. First of all, you are saying men your age are not established, are not all these things that you want. That means you're still being picky, that picky at your age. So you may have to give the younger guys a chance, because if the men your age are not working out and the younger guys are not working out, you may either have to lower your standards or be single. But other than that, the young men are still gonna want to clap cheeks. I mean, you look good, but yeah, they're gonna want to clap your cheeks. Otherwise, you have to pick a struggle. You can't want a perfect man. At the end of the day, you know. Anyway, shout out to Anton Daniels. This was crazy, you know. So it was crazy. Jazz was going off. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Because you're bringing up money.
I asked you.
You bring up money.
You do for black people, and
You
you
bring
brought
up
up
money.
my money.
You bring up money. I said I advocate
money.
for black women.
I
I
didn't
said
bring
I'm
up
in solidarity with them. I say that I protect them and I advocate for them whenever that I can. I have love for them. That's number one. And I have love for my community. You can cut a check. That's great. But you have
That's
no love.
You
No
got
love
fake-
at all.
that's
When you
fake
get up
love
here and
for
you
you.
say things like
You got
fuck
fake love.
black babies and fuck black single
You
mothers,
got
you don't
fake love.
you don't move out of you don't operate out of love towards black people. Anton,
You
and this
don't
is a
operate
fact.
out of love
Neither
towards
do you,
black people.
Jazz.
Listen,
It's just
for
a fact, but we're
anything
not
that
going to
you
get
could
into
ever
that. We're
say
not
that
going to
I've
get into
said, for anything that you could
doesn't
ever
matter.
say,
I'm talking
anything
to a
that you
brick
could
wall.
ever say that I said,
And just because
because
you
difference
have
between me holding people accountable because
you don't
I
hold
want them to do
nobody
better.
accountable. You just
It's a
degrade
difference
them.
between me
You
holding
don't
people
hold
accountable
anybody
because I want them to do better.
You just degrade
But you know
them.
you know what I've seen from you.
Oh my
I've
God.
seen you call black women some of the most egregious things
Like-
on this very platform.
What?
You
Like
talk,
what?
you talk,
Facts.
you
Like what?
talk like you talk the most evil to black women
Who,
that
what?
don't
Name
agree
it.
with
When?
you.
When did I ever
You're
call
not
a black
tolerant
woman
of another
an
view.
egregious name
You're
on this
not
panel
trying to
that
hear
wasn't
another
already talking shit
perspective.
to me?
You don't listen to another black woman and then say, you know what? Let's see where we can come together and we connect, even though I may
That's
disagree
not
with
true.
you, or
I got up
even
here
though
and
you
spoke
got a
my
different disposition
perspective,
than
and
me.
Ava called
You
me a
call
bird brain
them
before I said
wenches.
anything.
You call them all kind of disrespectful shit. You've been doing it all day. You're more disrespectful
They
to black
started
women.
with me.
You're
Are
more
you serious?
disrespectful to black women.
You
than I
had
have
your hit
ever
dog hollering
been
at me
disrespectful.
first.
Wait, can I say something though? Let me say something.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid because I sat here, I came in peace. I started saying my piece, and here comes so-and-so cutting me off, calling me a victim, not letting me finish my word. Then we got another so-and-so calling me a bird brain, calling me everything else. And then when I respond, it's a fucking problem. Stop being
Look at how you talking to people
disingenuous.
right
No,
now.
stop.
You can't even communicate
I'm
as a
communicating.
woman
They're cutting
and
me
stand
off.
firm. You can't.
Can you imagine having this woman as your wife or as your girlfriend? Because guys, best believe, just because this is a panel doesn't mean people's true personalities and characters don't come out. A little bit of who they are shows on the panel. So can you imagine having this as your wife or as your girlfriend, and then you have to go back home every night, and then you forgot to take out the trash or something, you forgot to pay a bill? Can you imagine how she's going to be in your face? Oh, 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 oh. This is the kind of woman where most guys go back home and they have to stay in their cars for 2-3 hours. They have to stay in the driveway contemplating how they got into the situation. They fear going into the house because they know as soon as they open the door, she's gonna go off ta about something he did 2 months ago. And the only reason they stay in such a relationship is because they got kids. Because they know as soon as there's a divorce, they break up, she's gonna take the kids. Yeah.
They're cutting me off. You get up here and you say
I have
horrible
not said
things.
anything disrespectful to you tonight.
Oh my God. It
I
doesn't
have
matter.
not said
Just
anything
stop talking.
disrespectful to you whatsoever. You can't even stand frame.
Okay,
You're
let
just
me.
an angry person.
Ava,
You
your mic not
angry in real life.
Okay.
Let me say something. Ava, your mic not working, so you might want to leave and come back. But I'm gonna say this, right? Jazz, I don't agree. Well, you're right. Half of the shit you said. You're right in part. You didn't start with some of the shit you started with tonight on this panel, but you're definitely wrong when it comes to Anton not appreciating or giving back to the Black community, right? I've seen it in person. I've seen it on his streams, Millionaire Morning Show, send people money, right? There's different types of Black people, right? So just because Anton talks about Black women, it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply. Not all Black people are the same. But
okay, Q, I'm not saying
No, but we can't say that Anton does not like the black community. He has a black wife, a black daughter. He supports black businesses. I'm in the Patreon. He gives back to the black community. Christmas, he was giving away money to black people, right?
Okay.
And let's also think of that.
He got money. He gives it. We know that.
No.
Yeah, but that's not something small. How many people do that? When you were talking about how you help the community, is all words. You support, you advocate, all words, blah, 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 blah. Words don't make much of a change. That's why they say, put your money where your mouth is. You talk about, I support this, I support black women. All you do is talk. He actually puts his money where his mouth is. And one thing they hate is to see a successful black man. Because she can't say that he has baby mamas, no, because he's married to a black woman, so she can't say that he's married to a white woman, but he actually puts his money where his mouth is, putting the money into the community, helping people. All she does is, yeah. But she has the guts to actually come out and criticize him that he doesn't help the community, but she doesn't have actual real examples of her helping the community apart from, yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
No.
That's not what I'm talking about.
But that's a way to support black people, right?
Exactly.
You can't sit here and say I support black people because I write it.
Let me finish, right? So there's a lot of people say they pro black, but they ain't doing shit. They haven't done shit to the black community. They haven't given back, not even to their own family members.
They just talk.
For a man to give back to total strangers and say he don't give back to the black community, that's completely wrong, because you never encountered Anton, right? I can talk black women. I can say I've encountered horrible black women, but guess what? I've encountered good black women. So that doesn't negate what Anton says. He's not saying all black men, all black women ain't shit. That's not what he's saying. But he has given back to the black community more than a lot of these other podcasters are, pro black this, HBCU this, HBCU that. No, they don't give shit. They just saying that shit to give money back to people.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this. That's great. You can cut a check. We know that. You're going to let us know every time. But as far as you using your platform to actually help the community, you have a very large platform and you use it to tear the community down.
No, that's how you interpret the message. All right, when he's talking about how black men should, get a trade, get a skill, level up, go for the bag. That's his slogan, chase the bag, dude, ABCD. The reason I'm actually doing this content, because he motivates me, he inspired me. For some of you guys who are part of his Patreon, you can see how he breaks down the game of actually doing content. So all you see is the negativity. Actually, it's not even negative. He holds people accountable, and then you choose to interpret that message as negative, because all you want to hear is, sweet talking people. You don't want people to be held accountable.
You don't get up here and speak positively. You don't get up here and give props for the success. Every time we talk about black success, y'all, you have something to combat it with, right?
You are attacking him right now with his black excellence. Married to a black woman, with a black daughter, giving back to the community with his actual money. That's black excellence. That's success. That's a positive story. But you talked about like as if it's nothing. But you ain't doing nothing either. You talk.
Like, I heard you even talking about the Sinners movie or just anything that has anything to do with black progress. It irritates you.
What did I say about the Sinners movie?
It irritates you. All I'm saying is, Anton, you can sit here and act like
what did I say about it? What did I say about it?
You can sit here and act like that you're pro-black.
What did I say about the Sinners movie?
What I'm saying is this. There's always a harsh critique against black people, even when they're doing something.
I celebrated it.
Even when they're doing something good.
I celebrated the Sinners movie.
I'm not about to
me and Slimmy and Molly had a conversation about it. Slimmy helped me to look at it from a different lens. He said, Anton, look at the cinematography and all this. And then I said, you know what, Slimmy? That they did do an excellent job on that. I said, you know what? I was looking at it from the lens of comparing it to other vampire movies. You helped me to understand it from a different lens. Molly helped me to understand it from a completely different lens. I said, you know what? It is great in its own way. So what did I say negatively about the Sinners movie?
Okay, what I'm saying is this. All right, you got me there. Good job. But even when it came to the Super Bowl, right? Even when it came to the Super Bowl, it was a good moment for Black people, for Blackness. And you had nothing good to say about it, and then wanted to say that, oh, you know, that's the time for us to be entertained. If you were really pro-Black, you would understand the reason why he chose that moment to do what he did, right?
So people can't even have opinions. Like, do I have to like Beyonce to be to show that I'm pro-Black? Like, do I have to like Obama to show that I'm pro-Black? So people can't have opinions about even entertainment, just entertainment, but they have to pull out their pro-Black card. If you don't like a certain entertainer who's Black, now you don't like Black people. Now you don't like the Black community. Like, her arguments are crazy.
Because we're all so used to being entertained, and that's all these white people want us to be, right? Just entertaining them, right? A lot of the times you assimilate a lot with their rhetoric and with their mindset. So just because you can cut a check, it's a racist company right now cutting checks for Black people every day. That doesn't mean that they appreciate and value Black people. I don't think that you do. Just because you have some Black women that fuck with you, they probably also have egregious things to say about Black women. And
okay, so who fights with you? Because at least Anton, you know, some people know him, some people don't, but people who are watching this video probably know him. So who knows you? Because you are criticizing everything he doesn't do. But what have you done? Like, show us receipts that, hey, listen, I'm criticizing because I'm paying, you know, tuition for 3 kids, for 3 orphans. I'm doing ABCD. Like, give us your blueprint of how you are supporting. You liking Beyonce and liking Kendrick Lamar doesn't make you pro-Black. Like, that doesn't do anything for the community. Like, she likes to hear herself talk. This is
Black
bad.
people and Black people as a collective. You sit here and you try to deny racism every day. You make it seem like that when we bring up these irrefutable facts about systemic racism, that we're all just playing the victim. But you don't ever have the smoke for the people that actually put it in place and designed it like this. This has been literally, and you say you know law and the government, then how don't you know about COINTELPRO? How don't you know about all these things that the government literally put into design to keep Black people at a disadvantage in this country? So
Jazz,
all
why
I
don't you
do
tell
is bring
white
these
people
things,
that then?
all I do is bring these things up, Anton.
School the white
All I
people
do is- all I
about
do
your
is bring these
issues. Why are you
things up.
telling us like
All I do
we're
is-
not Black though?
All I do is bring these things up, right? Because
Go
you
to
have a
white
very large
parents and bring it up to
platform.
them. That's
So
your
like
issue.
I was saying, all you do, when I try to bring these things up, I get called a victim. That's not showing me love. You're saying that I'm not the one that doesn't listen to people's perspectives. Every time I bring up the perspective of what really is going on today as far as white people and Black people in this country, you cutting me off.
He can listen and disagree with you. He doesn't have to agree with you to show that he supports Black people. That's her issue. Her issue is she wants everyone to agree with everything that she says. But the reason they have a panel is because they have different minds. Everyone has their own minds. And it would be so dumb if everyone agreed with everybody. So for her to try to force him and everyone else on the panel to agree with everything that she's talking about, that would be foolish. That wouldn't, move the conversation forward.
You calling me a victim, you're not open to hearing none of that. But you are open to hearing and spewing a lot of white supremacist rhetoric. So you're not even standing,
Girl,
you're not
how
even
am I-
being,
how am
you're
I
not even
cutting
standing
you
on
off?
who you are. And just because you cut a check, that means nothing, babe.
It means something because few people can do it. That's number 1. Number 2, it means something because you are not doing it. Number 3, it means something because it's changing someone's life. If someone gave me $50 right now, it will change my life. If we're going to be honest. So clearly, money moves things. That's why you go to work, because money actually does some change. Because we can talk all the game we want to talk, but if we don't have the dollars to actually create change and get the pieces moving, it does nothing. So for you to I'm actually, offended on behalf of Anton. Because what message is this showing to other men who are trying to put money where the mouth is putting money in the community, and then you have a Black woman attacking him that you giving money to the community is not enough or is nothing? What
But
message?
you're waiting for
Hold on.
reparations, so it means something. For people waiting for reparations, getting cut a check means something. So I don't know why you're
Exactly.
But
acting
you know
like
what's
that.
so interesting about it though?
But you waiting on the checks to
Hold
get
on,
cut.
y'all. Hold on. Hold on.
Let him reply. Jazz, you
Hold
gotta let him
on.
reply. You
Hold
went on
on.
for a while. Let him
For
reply.
a person that's always talking about getting cut off, somehow you keep on ending back up on the platform. Because if that was the case, then I wouldn't even have you back. First of all. Secondly, you get more talk
It's a clear
time than
reason why you have me here, and it ain't because you like me like that.
Well, hold on.
No, the reason it brings you back because it will be an echo chamber. Like I said, it's a panel so that people can agree or disagree. Otherwise, if everyone agreed with themselves, if Anton only let on people who agree with his points, that wouldn't be, first of all, it wouldn't be entertaining. Secondly, it wouldn't move the conversation forward. We wouldn't have solutions if everyone agreed with each other. It would be a damn conversation to have. If we already agree, we don't have to have the conversation because we're moving on the same path. We need different minds to disagree with each other. I don't agree with everything Anton says, but that means we can, it sharpens the mind if you disagree and try to find solutions.
All the money when my name being thrown in these super
Hold
chats.
on, Jazz. Anton doesn't pick the panels.
Oh, I understand that, but he just said that he can determine who's on it.
Yeah, if he didn't, he's basically saying, Jazz, if he didn't like you, if he didn't like black people,
He don't gotta like me when he getting a check off my name every time a check is name's been sitting that super chat.
Now that's disingenuous. Because even if I'm reacting off Anton's, video, it doesn't mean I'm just getting money off his name. Because I had to put the camera on, I had to talk, I had to put the lights on, still I had to put in some work. You know what I mean? And if you really want him, if he was really getting a check just from you, he will only be posting just your videos, just videos with Jazz, with just you. But he posts lots of content, different content, and you're not part of that content. So again, I'm offended on behalf of Anton Daniels.
This man has other channels. You think
Facts.
Of course, what I'm saying is this. Of course, I'm going to stay on the platform when this type of discourse happens.
Yeah,
the
but
rate, the shit goes up. He goes against me, I goes against them.
Guys, you're not understanding it. These little super chats ain't nothing compared to what he's making on other channels.
I'm not saying that, but
no, because you're thinking that he's just got money. That's all he. No, listen.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. That's what all you listen to.
No, that's literally all he talks about.
Wait, but Jazz, listen to the Millionaire Morning Show.
The only thing he had good to say about black people was that he cut them a check.
Listen to the Millionaire Morning Show.
Talking about money.
Listen to the advice that he gives the people. Listen to the advice that he gives people that wants to content create. Listen to the advice that he tells people to do what to their income. Like
I'm number one. Literally, I'm part of his Patreon, and he talks about different things, whether it's real estate, content creation for me, how to save money, taxes, and things like that. He talks about different topics. So I can say I'm first victim when it comes to listening to what he has to say when it has nothing to do with money, but just improving yourself and just, pursuing something that you like. So I don't know what she's talking about.
I think you only listen to tidbits of but he has done a lot for people, and it didn't only involve money. That's the thing I think you don't realize.
Girl, well, listen, until he literally can have an understanding conversation on why black people are owed a lot in this country, and we didn't destroy our communities alone. We're set back right now based on the things that they destroyed from us back then. We would have been so much further ahead economically if they weren't constantly tearing down things that we built. We know this to be true. And instead of saying, why was they tearing everything down? We want to talk about black people and why we upset about it.
Okay, Jazz.
You guys noticed all the other ladies have been quiet majority of the time. And she's been talking the whole time only because Anton Daniels disagreed with her. It's like you can disagree with someone, but you don't have to make them and force them to believe and agree with what you have to say. Maybe you have to lay out your points better, logically explain your points, where then you can turn them and they get to agree with what you're saying. But you don't have to become rude and loud and think you're going to be right.
I get it. Let me ask you a question. So what about the black people that are successful?
What about them?
Okay, so what did they do to get to where they're at?
Good question.
Were they in the past regarding slavery?
Girl,
how did they become successful? I'm confused. Like, why are we
baby, you gotta stop this. Because just because an individual can make it out the hood, an individual can do things to get to a certain level of success, does not mean that the community effort is the same way. And the thing is, instead of having smoke for the people that actually destroyed our efforts on being successful, we would have been so much further ahead.
So, Jazz, what do we do moving forward?
Had they just left us alone, we would have had legacy. We would have had.
Yeah, I mean, she's complaining more than giving solutions. So this lady Q is simply asking, hey, listen, have there been some black people who have made it out of the hood and become successful? Yes. In other words, should other people at least try to emulate the same steps those people took? The answer could be possibly yes. But she's talking about how everyone is being held back. And it's like, okay, what's your solution? We have heard the issues. What's your solution? What do you have in mind that we should do? You know, raising your voice and saying how the white man is holding you behind isn't the solution. What's your solution? How can we navigate the situation so that everyone can be successful? Which we know majority of people will never be like successful if we're going to be talking about rich, but everyone can be successful in their own way. What's the best way we can do? Personally, we can start by stopping having broken families, because it starts right there. We can start trying to preach marriage before you have babies. You know, we can start to try to preach, you know, good relationships between each other, because that's where success begins. At home, if a kid didn't see success at home, it's going to be hard for them to be successful on their own.
Jazz. Okay, so let's talk about the past. Let's talk about now. What about the black people?
Oh my God. The past is literally recreating itself as we speak.
No. Black people are holding themselves back right now in 2025. More black on black crimes. Black girls.
No. Oh my God.
Here, let me ask you a question. Right. So Jazz is very passionate about this. Very passionate. So you did the research as to what the problem
because
is.
it's like the
Am I muted?
The problem is and has always and will always will be. My bad, I didn't hear him. My bad. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
So you know, for the past 40 years, we've been reminded of what the problem is.
Yeah.
Right? My parents' generation, the generation above me, my generation, and your generation. So we know what the problem is.
What's the
And
solution?
you keep talking about it.
Yep.
What's the solution? You're very good at knowing what the problem is and seeing it. So what can we do collectively?
That's what I was saying.
Collectively, yes. At this
What
point,
can we do?
We hear you. We hear the problem. What is the solution?
What we can do is be just as mad as when you hear black people talking about race.
Being mad isn't going to change a thing. We need real actions. Being mad, you're going to go back to sleep, and when wake up, then what? Be mad again, then sleep again, then get up, be mad again. Being mad is what actually leads to emotional actions, which usually is, you know, destruction of property when people are protesting, you know, which now hurts the businesses, because usually they break into people's businesses, and then that sets us back. We need real actions, positive actions that can move us forward, not being mad. Oh my God.
Wait a second. So
be so mad at racism that you don't
being mad. But being mad is a negative emotion.
Exactly.
So is racism.
It definitely is. It definitely.
We cannot sit here.
But why are we going to duplicate?
We can't keep denying.
Let her finish, Jazz. Let him finish.
I thought he asked me a question.
But why are we going to duplicate?
Can you let me finish answering you before you start picking apart?
Oh my God, this woman loves to hear herself talk. I know some of you guys don't want to listen to her, and I know some people have said, oh, she shouldn't come back to the panel. I actually disagree. I like women like Jazz because, number one, you see, you know, what type of woman to avoid. But number two, you need people who disagree with you, because it's going to challenge your mental capacity. You know, it's going to teach you how to logically and surgically argue and create good argument points to win conversations or arguments for that matter, or debates. So but also it kills the echo chamber. So I like ladies like Jazz. I even prefer them to women who are just quiet, because everyone would just agree and two of them make a good conversations. What do you guys think? Shout out to Anton Daniels, link down below. So till next time, peace.